ABC Sport. You're listening to the 2025 AFL Premiership season.
AFL. Don't get better than this.
On your radio,
Sport Digital.
and on the ABC Listen app.
The Cats look to ramp up their push for a top four finish, currently in sixth spot on the AFL ladder and unchanged following their 31-point win over the Saints last week. They've won their last 13 matches against the Kangaroos, a record dating back to 2015. The average margin between those matches have been 41 points, and the Kangaroos have not got within 10 goals since 2021. That's the challenge for Alistair Clarkson's Chargers tonight without, unfortunately, Nick Larkey and also the crucial contributions of their midfield. So the challenge for North Melbourne to try and offer some sort of fight tonight. Hello, welcome to Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport. Matt Clinch with you. Under the roof, there is no late changes with Humphreys and Hanson Jr., the subs for the two sides tonight. We've seen some gripping matches throughout the round. Q-Clash 29, a big win for the Gold Coast Suns. And the Dockers prevailing in the Western Derby. We'll keep you across all the action from the showdown in Adelaide and, of course, the Wallabies in town here in Melbourne. Lauren Borton to call the action alongside me. Welcome to you, Loz.
Oh, thanks, Clinchy. It is nice to be here at Docklands. And, I mean, you mentioned it's a big gap between these sides. One ranked 17th and one ranked 4th. But I guess you've got to look at the little things for North Melbourne. They've got the chance to win another game potentially and kind of record their best win-loss ratio since 2019, back when they won 10 wins. So wins have been few and far between for the last 5 years or so for North Melbourne. And then, of course, it's all on the line when it comes to Geelong. And you mentioned those results today. There's a lot of shuffling that's been going on in that top 8. So very important for the Cats tonight to get the win and a little bit of percentage too if they can.
The Cats have a favourable run home, but so much intrigue in the closing stage of this home and away season as to which will be the sides that do slip up. Our back row is stacked once more. Essendon Premiership player is part of the celebrations last night. Adam Ramanauskas is here. Welcome to you, Ramo.
Yes, good evening. It was a nice night to catch up with some old teammates. So the stories get larger and larger as you would expect. So Justin Blumfield reminded me that he should have won the Norm Smith medal, and but that's why it was good. It was good to catch up, see everyone fit and healthy, which is always pleasing. But it's a funny one. Lingy and I, we'll introduce Lingy shortly, but Lingy and I were just talking off air, and we feel like just Geelong they're just going. They're just going at the moment. They're sort of, they're probably in third gear at the minute. They sort of need to kick it up to fifth gear and start to really find the form that we expect, or what we're hoping to see in September. So I think for them it's like, let's get a kill tonight. Like, let's really put the foot down. Whereas North Melbourne, on the other hand, well, I sort of agree with Loz. I think, for them to go, has their season been successful or not? I was speaking about them winning 8 games. I thought that would have been a really successful season. Now, they're still at 4.5, but to beat a real contender, I think if then they look back on the season and go, well, we beat Geelong in a late season game, well, that is a scalp. That could be a pleasing thing to the season for them.
Absolutely. Without Tristan Sherry, without Nick Larkey tonight, you heard the chemistry already. Geelong Premiership player, Premiership captain Cameron Linger's with you for a Saturday night. Nice to have you, Lingy.
Oh, great to be with you, Clinchy, Loz and Rama. So good to be here watching this game. Yeah, Rama's right. Geelong, a bad loss against the Brisbane Lions. The Brisbane Lions were terrific, that one. They then had the bye. Then a pretty ordinary loss against the Giants. And then last week, despite a comfortable win against St Kilda, it wasn't overly impressive the way the Cats played. So, no, they're definitely not in fifth gear at the moment, Rama, and they've got to get rolling. You can't just flick the switch as you get closer to finals. It's got to be a build, and maybe tonight. The first 10, 12 minutes, Clinchy, will probably tell us Geelong really sharp and ruthless and looking to build for that September form. Or are they still just kind of going through the motions, knowing they're a better team than North Melbourne, and North Melbourne are missing a few key players and they're probably going to win, and it makes it a bit of a slog of a night? Well,
history shows of the recent premiership winners, the last month of the season and the form in the last month of the season is really important. So Lee makes the point of just not being able to turn on a switch come week 1 of the finals and all of a sudden you're in great form. It's this month now before the end of the season, go, okay, we need every aspect of our game in perfect working order to go into a final series. Now, you look at that perfect working order, well, against Brisbane in the prelim last year, it just wasn't quite in perfect working order. They couldn't finish the game off.
So Collingwood, Brisbane, Adelaide, the top three. Who is the fourth best side at the moment with still that tangle? Geelong think they can be there. Hawthorn hope if they win some tough games on the run home, they could be there. Could the Fremantle Dockers, and of course the Gold Coast Suns have 2 games to play in round 24.
Can we go with recency bias, Clint? You just say the Gold Coast Suns. That was unbelievable today.
That's a win that leaves an impression, doesn't it?
Yeah. The Giants still for me.
Yeah, I think it's either Geelong or the Giants are that 4th seed at the moment. So they'll jostle for that over the next month. But look, Fremantle has a terrific win against Collingwood last week. They get the job done today in the Derby. So they're going okay. It's going to be a fascinating final series. There's going to be one very unlucky team miss out.
100%. The Giants, though, which Rammer and I are both saying could be right there, they face a Thursday night game against the Western Bulldogs. Back here, no Toby Green now. He's got a 1-week suspension for the incident last night. All of a sudden, they dropped that one. And are they back in that pack, given what their percentage is, only at 118? The Doggies are at 132 right now, where they could just, out of nowhere, slip out. Yeah. Could they be the unlucky team? But we probably think they're maybe the 4th best team in it right now.
Yeah, if you're just hearing that news for the first time, Toby Green handed a 1-match ban for his forearm to the head of Isaac Heaney. I think he's going to find that a hard one to try and argue any case as to how he'll get away with less than a week. So involved in a 3-way tackle, including Sam Taylor and Jack Buckley, and he put the elbow to the head of Isaac Heaney. The Giants are going to have 3 changes for that match against the Bulldogs on Thursday night because calf concerns for Josh Kelly and also for Jack Buckley as well. So all of a sudden the intrigue of the Bulldogs' big win over the Bombers, what sort of confidence does that give them? Can Geelong do something similar in the opening quarter tonight? I mean, Patrick Dangerfield plays his 200th game in the hoops. What a great addition he's been to the Cats, their captain. And Jeremy Cameron leads the Coleman by 11. No Nick Larkey at the other end.
He might lead it by 19 or 20, I think, by the end of the night. That's my prediction. I think there's an 8 in Jez tonight. I think there's an 8. So I was watching him in warm-up, and he was very active, it's fair to say.
He looked sharp.
Yes, he was very active.
No changes tonight for the Cats. So same side that beat St Kilda last week. And for the Kangaroos, Dersma, Maley and Hansen get their opportunity. For Harvey out through illness, Coleman Jones through injury, and Phillips has been dropped. The final member of our team sitting in the front row tonight is Lex Pesce. Welcome to you, Lex.
Hello, good evening. It's a beautiful evening under the roof here at Docklands Stadium. Freezing outside, but nice inside. Lingy, you said before Jeremy Cameron looked up and about. You know, in these games, he just likes to smile a little bit, and there's that smirk lurking, I reckon. I reckon it's out there.
Good on you, Lex. Looking forward to your contributions throughout the night. Docklands staff expecting somewhere between 25 or 26,000, which, given the Wallabies are in town against the British and Irish Lions, have been over 90,000 at the MCG, so we are the bridesmaid tonight.
There is certainly not 25 or 26 here at the moment.
Might be in the bars.
Wow. There's some space.
There's a few empty bays.
There's a few empty bays, but I don't think there was too many here last night either with the Bombers and Bulldogs. So.
I think they announced it as roughly 29,000 last night. It did not feel like that.
No.
And we're not near that at all tonight.
So what would be a margin that Alistair Clarkson would feel like is compelling for his Kangaroos fans?
4 goals. Goal a quarter.
Yep. That's fair. Yep.
The players heading out in position. Bailey Smith in the middle.
We'd love to tell you, Clinchy, it's going to be closer to that, but it doesn't feel that way. But it's got to be, if half time, it can be even.
Yeah.
That would be a really great step forward. They might run out of gas. They might not be able to sustain it. They might drop then a couple of goals a quarter from that point. But aim to get to half time, scores even.
And if the Cats maybe have one deficiency, it could be in their midfielders. Luke Davies, Uniac, Jai Simpkin, Tom Powell are all in there, up against Max Holmes, Tom Atkins and Bailey Smith. So we are waiting for the countdown on the big screen, which still has 20 seconds of the players in position. Patrick Dangerfield, a full forward. Shannon Neal is there as well. Mark Blitzow starting in the forward 50. And Jeremy Cameron's up at half forward alongside Colby McKercher, who is quick, but that would be quite a mismatch if that continues. And at full forward for the Kangaroos, Paul Curtis, who has the job trying to fill the big shoes of Nick Larkey. The Cats looking to push towards the top 4 position, taking on the Kangaroos, who have lost their last 13.
Why is McKercher on?
If McKercher's just going to sprint in here and you're going to leave Jeremy Cameron, this is bizarre.
Here's Lauren Borden.
We'll have a watch on that as Stanley tries to get the tap out. It's Powell who can just hack it away with his boot as far as Sheasel. Couldn't gather it cleanly. Smith collects for the Cats. Hand pass to Guthrie. Skies the ball inside 50 for the Cats. Bounces once and then Daniel tries to pull it out. Very top of the 50-metre arc for Geelong, who are attacking towards the Coventry end.
Jez Cameron just cruising inside 50 with no one near him.
Nobody.
So Cameron leading the Coleman medal race. As the ball is tossed up and it's a holding free kick going the way of the Kangaroos, and Bryn Teakle, who was taught a lesson last week by Brodie Grundy, standing in for Tristan Sherry, takes the free kick and flares it out wide. And it's out to Banch in his second game for North Melbourne. Just kicks it across to Daniel. It wasn't 15. He's taken in a tackle by Manor, and the umpire crosses his arms and will ball it up just in front of our broadcast position. Centre wing, slightly to the advantage of the Cats' goal. It's no score, a minute played in the opening term.
The two rucks tangle once more. Teakle wins down the tap on this occasion. Tom Atkins goes to work, can't gather. Bailey Smith gets a hand pass out. Around the boundary line, O'Shea Mullins to Manor, but his hand pass was over the line and will come back. So Toby Pink starting alongside Patrick Dangerfield in the forward 50. It's Dawson alongside Shannon Neal. Stengel across half forward as well for the Cats. And Jeremy Cameron pushing up to the stoppage.
A lot of confusion between the North defenders. McKercher, not sure. Do we take Jez? Do we go with him? Do we leave him free? Who's going to sit back?
Thrown back in front of our commentary box. It's Blitzhouse who wins down the tap against Teakle, and it rolls out of play in front of Simpkin and Manor. Hardiman's the matchup alongside Stengel, and Caleb Daniel is pushing up. And he and Griffin Logue are the two trying to organise the half-back line for the Kangaroos. Thrown back in, Blitzhouse wins down the tap. Awkward bounce for Sheasel as he gathers. Hand pass looking for Jai Simpkin, the Kangaroos captain. Hand pass to McKercher. A push in the back, and it's going to come back to Simpkin. So no advantage for the Kangaroos, despite Darling taking the mark at half forward.
So North Melbourne skipper will have it in his hands. And he just chips it slightly forward towards Stevens, who marks it high above his head and has it at centre wing. Dockland side of the stadium. Roof closed. Cool night in Melbourne. Stevens loads up on the kick and will pop it right to the top of the 50. No mark could be taken by Comben. It's picked up by Curtis. He hand passes it away. And Simpkin's gone down there to take the hand pass and take the tackle. And it'll be a ball up at the top of the 50 for North Melbourne. Still no score. Nearly 3 minutes played in the opening term.
Stanley does the ruck against Teakle this time. Gets it down to Bailey Smith. Couldn't clear the congestion. Holmes tried to fend off Davies-Uniacke. The umpire says that wasn't prior opportunity. And we'll ball it up at left half forward for the Kangaroos.
The North Melbourne mids here just happy to bring it in nice and tight. Happy to work in just a metre. They don't want these ones really to the outside. Let the Cats quick mids run onto it.
No score through 3 minutes. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. The Kangaroos through Luke Davies-Uniacke to McKercher. Stripped of it in a tackle. Tom Atkins should get 50 here. The footy wasn't returned.
That's silly.
And McKercher is going to pay the price for that.
Yeah, I was hoping he got away with it, Davies-Uniacke there, but he looked at the umpire. It was guilty as charged. It's a short 50.
Oh, and Cameron just lurking.
He wants it around the back. He gets it from Tom Atkins. Jeremy Cameron on the runway from 50. He started without an opponent, and he slams through the first goal of the match. He is looking imposing early, Jeremy Cameron. Leading the Coleman by 11. Make that 12 already. And Mitch Georgiades featuring in the showdown tonight. The Cats on the board first. They're 1 straight 6 to North Melbourne yet to score. 4 minutes in Saturday night footy with Adam Ramanaskas and Cameron Ling.
Well, I'm really confused here, Ling.
Me too, and we're not alone. Right across all the boxes here, there's a lot of looks going on. Like, what's happening?
So, just to explain it to our listeners, so Jeremy Cameron started at true centre half forward to start this game. So we're 4 minutes into the contest. McKercher's standing next to Jeremy Cameron, which is bizarre in itself.
182 centimetre McKercher.
That's right. So Jeremy Cameron's leading the Coleman medal as we discussed before the game. Again now, the first goal of the game, McKercher is again next to Jeremy Cameron. Now, you've got Griffin Logue, you've got Toby Pink, you've got Will Dawson there. I don't understand what this matchup is with Jeremy Cameron.
It's another entry inside 52 as Stanley pumps it into the forward 50 for the Cats. Falls down. Stengel's there. Hand pass towards Dangerfield. Can't gather. Lowe comes in for North. Takes the tackle by Manor, who's already had a couple of tackles early in this match. And it will be a ball up in the forward pocket for the Cats. So it is Geelong leading by Jeremy Cameron goal. And they've got it inside their forward 50 as well as Stengel runs onto it, can hand pass it across to Martin, who hand passes it right in front to Mullen, who'll have a go at goal. And he kicks it across the face for a minor score. So the Cats 1-1-7. They're leading North Melbourne, who are yet to score. 5 minutes played in the first term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
As the Kangaroos look to bring the ball back into play. Through McKercher into the back pocket for Stevens. He looks for an avenue out of defence. Hardiman's the target. Chips the ball over Jack Martin and takes the mark at left half back for the Roos. Geelong 1-1-7 to North Melbourne yet to score. Kangaroos have been inside 50 on one occasion. Geelong 3 times to 2 scores. The kick up towards the wing. Comden competes, can't take the mark. Well read by Powell. Gets the hand pass away to Zerha, who streams down the broadcast wing. Gets the left half forward. Chips the kick for Darling. And takes the mark, lunging down low to his right. A good build-up from the Kangaroos from the wing.
Yeah, nice ball used by Zerha too. At top speed, having to break away. He had to fit it into a small window because Jack Henry was trying to cut across the angle to cut off the pass and hit up Jack Darling. It's a tough shot from here. He'll be kicking from right on the boundary, pretty much 50 metres out, but well played by Zerha.
They got the veteran Eagle for pick 67 last year. He's been a handy addition so far this season with 17 goals. Out to the left, this is a tough shot from 48. It's left all the way. And the wrong side of the left goalpost for a minor score. The Kangaroos with a behind. Geelong 1-1-7. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Guthrie brings it straight in and chips to Tom Stewart, who marks in the pocket. Was subbed off last week with a knee complaint, but back in the side, or stayed in the side today as he kicks down the wing, and it's Darling that picks it up in the end, just gets a kick away across to Dersma, hand passes it to McKercher, hand pass to Stevens. North Melbourne trying to hold on to the footy, but Dangerfield easily picked that off, got it off to Manor. He'll go inside 50 to the very top of the arc. No mark can be taken by Neil. He had 2 hands to it, it'll be paid.
And now he's got quick breaks on everywhere.
Oh, Cameron was standing next to him again, just fumbled the footy and had to hand pass back to Neil, who tries a little dinky kick back into the goal square. Ricochets back to him. In the end, Mullen's taken in a tackle and swung around. Comes back to Neil. He'll go inside 50 again. Pink at the drop takes the mark. And might just be able to steady after that little messy passage of play. But Geelong certainly pressing. 1-1-7, the Cats, North Melbourne, 1 behind.
Big Shannon Neil maybe biting off a little bit much there, Rama. It was a good grab.
Cameron Lang alongside Adam Romanascus, Matt Clinch and Lauren Borden calling the action. Lex Pesce down on the boundary for Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Geelong by 6 points. And Stevens kicks the Kangaroos from half back up to half forward. Jack Darling in front of Tom Stewart. Takes an impressive contested mark. Gestures for players to run through the middle of the ground. He wants to take the risk. A switching ball looking for Dawson. Backpedaling takes the mark. In front of Blitzavs to the right of the centre circles in the middle of Docklands. Now where to? Spots Dersma on his own at half forward. He marks at the edge of the centre square. Getting his opportunity tonight, 1 of 3 changes. Zane Dersma. Just his 8th game for the season. He drives a long kick towards the goal square. Paul Curtis is there, got rid of his opponent and takes the mark. Good strong use of body in the left forward pocket. Maybe a little shove on Sam de Koning and marks just 11 metres out from goal.
Oh, we talk about size up one end with Jeremy Cameron and Colby McKercher. Paul Curtis and Sam de Koning there, and Curtis just the stronger in the marking contest.
Without Nick Larkey, Paul Curtis might have to carry a fair bit of the load, and he comes in and gets the North Melbourne side on the board with their first goal of the night. 1-1-7 apiece through 9 minutes in the opening quarter. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport with Adam Romanascus and Cameron Lee.
No, it was fair by Curtis too. You're right, Rammer. It was great strength by him. Timed it nicely. It was pretty much in the side, and I think Sam de Koning would be pretty disappointed with his inability to just hold his ground a little bit more against a smaller opponent. He's probably coming back from injury still, but last week was really scratchy as well, de Koning, and just that marking contest there. He's probably one of the players that Geelong will look to really have to build his form over the next few weeks and get his strength back, his marking contest technique and craft back to where it's been previously. Just a little bit off at the moment.
So scores brought back to level. 9 minutes gone in this opening term under the roof of Dockland. Sheasel tries to get a clearance away, has to kick as he's being tackled. Lowndes in the centre of the ground in the hands of Parker, who clears a kick, puts it into some space. O'Connor trying to track it back for Geelong. In the end, he's beaten to the footy by Darling. Hand pass across to Constanti, puts it into the pocket. Mark will be taken by Zerha. And North Melbourne with a quick entry inside 50, and Zerha will have a shot not far out from goals, tight angle.
Good craft there by Zerha. Holding that space where the ball's going to land.
Started well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't kick one last week. Bends it towards goal, puts it through the middle, and North are in front. So the Kangaroos go up 2-1-13, having kicked a couple of goals in a couple of minutes to Geelong 1-1-7, and at 6 points the Kangaroos lead. 10 minutes played in the opening term. It's Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Your experts Cameron Ling and Adam Ramanauskas.
What are you seeing just the control of the footy at
Yeah.
the moment, Ramos? So marks at the moment, 12 to North Melbourne, only 1 to Geelong. So when North are managing to win that contested ball, they're then able to get a little bit of a chain going, and sometimes it's either through a contested mark. Jack Darling's presented really well, or they've been able to link up and a really good contested grab by Cam Zerha, as you said, using that craft, understanding where the ball's going to drop to. Did it perfectly.
Kangaroos all of a sudden with 2 quick goals and they take the lead by 6 points. They've had 21 kicks in their 29 disposals to Geelong. 9 kicks and 12 hand passes. Back in the middle, Stanley wins down the tap against Teakle. Parker for the Kangaroos, hand pass to Davies Uniacke, hand pass chopped off by Max Holmes, kicks out to the broadcast wing. Awkward bouncing ball for Bowes, he gathers, tackled by O'Sullivan, hand pass away to Jack Martin, now to O'Connor who breaks through a tackle, hand pass to Tom Atkins at right half forward, out wide for Jeremy Cameron. And he takes the mark, hemmed into the right forward pocket. Griffin Logue to make sure he hangs on to his mark there.
Sure, Jez is passing too many tonight.
Not the way he's feeling,
Yeah.
not the space he's being given. He's thinking, I could really fill my boots tonight.
59 for the season, 1 already as Jeremy Cameron opens up the angle, curls it back on the left, and an effort to touch it on the goal line by Dawson was over the line. Jeremy Cameron has 2 and scores a level once more. 2-1-13 under the roof of Docklands. Saturday night footy with Adam Ramanauskas and Cameron Ling. Your thoughts on the SMS 0437 774 774. I hate reading these ones, Rama, because I don't want to get you jealous. Rich from Ocean Grove listening in front of a nice burning red gum log fire. Ever the fearful Cats fan, I worry that the Kangaroos are due for an upset win against us. And Andy from Wodonga, hello gang, Rama, do the Cats need to get into sprinting mode? They are on the bend in the Melbourne Cup, in a good position. It's a long straight.
Yeah, it's a long straight. There's still 8 weeks of that straight remaining, hopefully for the Cats. But yeah, the whip might come out soon, just to give it a little, just to get a couple of extra yards, I think, on the rest of the field. But that was poor by North Melbourne. They should have had somebody on that goal line to touch that ball.
So scores level, back in the middle. Teakle gets the tap out, just puts it in front of Parker, who can get onto it and soccer it inside forward 50 for the Roos. It'll be picked up, though, by O'Sullivan, who clears it out to Holmes. Hand pass away to Bowes, and they'll move the footy around the dockside wing. He spears a pass across to Martin, right in front of the Geelong bench. And Martin just kicks it forward towards Atkins. Hand passes it quickly towards Holmes, who curls the ball inside 50. Cameron's there in a pack of North Melbourne players. The ball all spilled to ground. Davies Uniacke will take it, and it'll be tackled by a couple of Geelong players.
There was a fend there.
Yeah, there was definitely a fend there. That's holding the ball. There's prior opportunity. As soon as you want to fend, you've given up your prior opportunity chance.
Thrown up, Geelong win it down, but it's Davies Uniacke who's hand pass to Powell, put him under enormous pressure. Manor slides in for the Cats, and McKercher over the top of him, the ball up. Side 57-5 Geelong's way in the early stages. We're locked at 2-1-13 apiece. Cats with the opening goal, North with the next 2, and Geelong with the most recent. Both have come through. Jeremy Cameron is involved here once more. Close slaps it on. Jezza for his 3rd. Snaps across his body from directly in front. And he has 3 in the opening 14 minutes of the match. And he's up to 61 for the season. And showing full intent as to what he might want to do tonight. He's seen Zach Bailey and Isaac Heaney in recent weeks. It's a bit easier playing higher up the ground than maybe inside the forward 50. 3-1-19 the Geelong side to 2-1-13 North Melbourne.
Grandma. That edit is going to appear in both teams' meetings. Yeah. Geelong for just superbly done. Great, clever play by Close to his teammate. But it will be in the North Melbourne meeting for so many different reasons. There was nobody on him, as in...
Well, Griffin Logue is supposed to be on him at that contest, but he was nowhere near him.
He trailed him by 5 metres. That's the best, the Coleman medal winner probably for this season. Wow. That's not pretty, Clinchy.
He's come to the bench. That's North's best chance at the moment.
And Finbar Maley's gone into the ruck for North as well against Stanley in the middle. Parker dives and goes hard over the footy, but he's tackled and dragged it in, and it will be a holding free kick. So Geelong will win the free kick out of the middle as Atkins has it in the middle centre circles. He just chips it forward to Myers. And Myers marks a couple of kicks from goal unopposed. Again, he twirls around and will put it into the hot spot, spearing it down, goes over the top of Dangerfield's head. It'll be cleared away by Dawson, who can hand pass it across to Dersmer in the end, who moves the ball out towards Maley. He takes his spun to tackle, has to kick it. De Koning emerges with the footy, kicks towards Dangerfield, who's running up, ready for the pass, and he's on the end of a 20-metre kick. And he'll mark 40 metres out from goal and kick from a little tighter than a 45-degree angle.
So Geelong have got a really high press on. As soon as that ball goes inside forward 50, they're squeezing right up. Tom Stewart, Connor O'Sullivan is the last line, 10, 15 metres in front of the centre circle. So they're prepared to be really aggressive and bring that heat to North Melbourne defenders and create those turnovers.
So in walks Paddy Dangerfield over the line in his 200th game as a Cat. He's trying to pull it to the left. It was just started too far right. Couldn't get it back in. So a minor score for Dangerfield. Cats lead back out to 7 points. 10 minutes played in the opening term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
3 lead changes early in this contest as Caleb Daniel looks to bring North Melbourne back into play. With the helmet on, looks one way then the other, ends up darting out to the left and ran his full measure up towards Jack Martin. Set a challenge from McKercher, who rises and takes the mark.
He did his best to kill Colby McKercher. Sat him under it.
McKercher's kick just cleared the fingertips of Bailey Smith to Parker. Around the broadcast wing, Costanti. Now pass away to Simpkin. Kicks up towards Comben. Up with one arm. Can't juggle the mark. Sliding in Zerha. Under the pressure of Tom Stewart. It ricochets out of play. And throwing it left half forward for the Kangaroos. Geelong 3-2-20 to North Melbourne 2-1-13. Cats by 7 points. 17 minutes gone. Opening term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Charlie Comben playing forward now for the Roos. After spending a lot of his time down back, although he did play forward as well. But he's now back into the forward line. It's a free kick to Brian Myers, though, from the throw-in. He takes the footy and moves it on quickly towards Martins, who again marks on the broadcast wing. And holds on to the footy just to let his teammates set up ahead of him. Cats leading by 7 points. Martin chips it forward towards Bowes, who marks, plays on quickly across to Smith, who's curling his way around the boundary line, puts it inside 50. His kick doesn't quite reach Neil, and in the end it's Dawson that intercepts for North Melbourne and takes it in the back line for the Roos. And chip it across to Toby Pink, right in the back goal square. Lex Pesce on the boundary.
Interesting, Griffin Logue just came off, and the emotion on his face, he looks very frustrated with the matchup that he's got tonight. He's got a tough task ahead.
Pink out of defence, up towards half-back. O'Sullivan flying and taking a mark. As he drives Geelong back inside forward 50. Shannon Neal the target. Danger trying to keep it alive. Almost on the goal line. Hand pass away to Stengel. He fires it into the right goal post. And a minor score. O'Sullivan with a new contract during the week and a 2-year extension flying into the air. Tamming down with a very good mark over. Is that Colby McKercher again? He's everywhere.
Caleb Daniel bringing in the footy. Just chips it to Stevens, who kicks out wide just outside of 50. The mark's taken by Banch. The mid-season rookie, just his second game, tries to sell some candy on Dempsey, then gets a kick away and he kicks it out of bounds on the full. So this will be coming right back the way of the Cats. And it's Ollie Dempsey who has the kick, 60 metres out from goal to the top of the goal square. He'll send it. Dangerfield hung on to it, not paid the mark in the end. Blitzars has to do the tackling close to the boundary line. And in the end, Dersmer's, close to the goal line rather, and in the end, Dersmer's happy to run it through for a minor score. So the Cats lead extends to 9 points, 3-4 playing 2-1, 19 minutes played.
Quickly brought in by McKercher, but the intercepting mark is taken by Guthrie, who has it left half forward for Geelong. So the Cats have it hemmed inside their forward 50. Guthrie veers out to the right. Long kick in the direction of Blitzavs, who protected the drop particularly well against Finbar Maley. Takes the mark, only 25 metres out, slightly right of centre.
Unfortunately for the North Melbourne defenders, the ball just keeps coming back in, so they're becoming more and more reactive on the back foot. And it was a clever kick in, just dropped it a bit short, took a bit off it, and allowed Blitzarves to move at the footy.
13-5, the inside 50s with a few repeat entries coming for the Cats. Mark Blitzavs looking for a Geelong goal that doesn't have Jeremy Cameron's name next to it, and he misses to the left-hand side as well. I don't know, Lex, if you could hear his conversation as he went to the phone. What would one say to someone after they kicked 3 goals?
Good luck. Get closer.
Get back on the field.
Yeah, Jez's conversation was, let me back out there.
He was standing very close to the paint to get back on as the kick comes out from North Melbourne's attack looking for Davies Uniacke, but O'Connor gets in front of Davies Uniacke and gets it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Inside 50s, 13-5 in Geelong's favour, but the tackle count, 17-4. Only 4 tackles for North Melbourne in this opening quarter.
Ball spun in, Blitzarf just taps it down, and then he's going in to get it amongst the pack. He can grab it, barges his way through to hand pass, and in the end it's stolen though by Constanti. Hand pass to Parker. He kicks down the line and Comben can't mark it, so it'll be another inside 50. O'Sullivan with the footy for the Cats. Long kick inside 50. It's a shallow entry, but Close is lurking. Tried to get his hands onto it. Pink came in after him. And Pink's on the turf now for a ball up right at the top of the 50 for the Cats.
This is great. Let's put Riley Hardiman now on Jeremy Cameron.
Maybe it's a learning. You know, our coaches like to say they might learn by playing on the competition's best forward.
Bizarre.
That's cruel.
So Stengel takes it out, basically throws it away. Umpire says play on. So the throw stands as he gets it away. Darling picks it up. He is taken in a tackle by Tom Stewart, and he's held up in the centre of the field. And it's a ball up with Geelong leading by 10 points. 21 minutes played in the first term.
So we've had 3 different opponents in the last 15 seconds. Jeremy Cameron, as they all point and say, I think it's your matchup. Toby Pink's the man who set it alongside him. From the stoppage, Tom Atkins gets a hand pass away to Bailey Smith. Long ball inside 50. Pink in front of Cameron. Cameron spalls it down. Dangerfield went to drop it on his left boot and then changed his mind. He regathers the footy. Hand pass to Jack Martin. Swings onto his left and fires towards goal across the face. So all of a sudden, the last 5 scores in the match have been Geelong behinds. And they lead by 11 points. 3-6-24 to North Melbourne 2-1-13. Lex on the boundary.
Rammer and Lingy, Griffin Logue is about to come back on. What do you say to him? He's obviously frustrated, so what do you say to him for the rest of the night?
Stand next to Jeremy Cameron. Actually put your arm across him.
Defend.
He's your matchup.
Yes.
Don't hand it over. Take the matchup.
Dersma kicks it out to Darling. Hand pass to Stevens. Hand pass to Daniel. They've got it at centre wing, outer side of the ground. Hand pass to McKercher, who flicks it across to Dersma, who finds Finn O'Sullivan, who'll switch the kick across to the broadcast side of the ground as Hardiman takes it and can run a little, take a bounce, puts it inside 50 to no one in particular, just a bit of space. Guthrie's first person to the ball for the Cats, and he's tackled down to the turf, and it'll be a ball up inside 50 for North Melbourne.
And Griffin Logue does head back out in the ground, and he does head straight to Jeremy Cameron.
45 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. Can they push forward? No. Bailey Smith will take it. Hand pass it to Mullen, who just clears the kick right to the wing. Stengel puts his arms up and punches it away over the boundary line. It was Hardiman coming in there to help for North Melbourne, so it'll be a boundary thrown right at centre wing. 23 minutes played in this opening term. Geelong 3-6, leading North Melbourne 2-1. All 3 of Geelong's kicks coming the way of Jeremy Cameron.
The voice of Lauren Borden with you on ABC Sport on the SMS 0437 774 774. Luca in large base says Cameron will get more than 8. As here's Holmes emerging from the stoppage, drives it inside 50. Shannon Neal the target, backing back against Dawson and takes the mark directly in front, 40 metres out from goal.
We're doing a lot of talking about Jeremy Cameron, but for good reason. So even his sheer presence means Logue couldn't leave him. He stayed up around that stoppage, which just gave the Geelong forwards, and Shannon Neal in particular, all sorts of space to work in there against a smaller opponent, one-on-one with back-leading space, because they're so worried now about what they do with Cameron.
Shannon Neal, 27 goals of the season, having turned 23 yesterday. The big cat directly in front, looking to extend their lead. He comes in from 40 metres out and hands them their 4th goal of the match. Geelong on top early here at Docklands, 4-6-30 to North Melbourne 2-1-13. The margin is 17 points. The inside 50s are 16-6 the way of the Cats. Cameron Ling and Adam Ramanauskas, your experts on ABC Sport.
But this is the problem, Lee. When you want to play a system-based defence, so what that is, they're effectively trying to play defence in a grid, North Melbourne, where if the player goes to your area of that grid, that's your matchup. Now, we know Geelong's forwards, they're too creative to do that. So you actually have to have direct matchups against Geelong. Stengel, such a dangerous player. Myers, dangerous player. Brad Close, dangerous player. Dangerfield. have your specific matchups as your back six and just play on them.
Yeah.
Play on them now for a moment.
And you can still be smart and hand over at the right time when there's enough pressure on the ball carrier. But you're right. Take responsibility for a matchup.
So quickly, Geelong's lead's extended out to 17 points as a free kick's found in the middle of the ground, going the way of Luke Davies-Uniacke. So North Melbourne players flood ahead of the footy. Chips towards Jai Simpkin, who marks ahead of Max Holmes. Almost looks to hand pass across to Davies-Uniacke. His jittery steps, he puts plenty on the kick and will go directly inside 50. Darling, two hands, brought it to the ground. It's picked up by Mark O'Connor and he's taken to the turf. And it'll be a ball up inside forward 50 for the Roos. 35 metres out from goal. Ball's tossed up. Zerha chasing after it. Can't take it. Dempsey grabs it. He's wrapped up. And it'll be another ball up in the same position. So North Melbourne look to try and get their third goal on the board. They're trailing by 17 points. 25 minutes gone, first term.
Thrown up, Blitzavs tangling with Teakle. Teakle tries to knock it down. Jack Henry roved at best though. Kick up towards half-back. Stengel dropped the mark. Hardiman for North Melbourne. Half pass to Finn O'Sullivan. Got by Ollie Dempsey. Holding the ball and a free kick going Geelong's way at half-back. So Finn O'Sullivan out there for the Kangaroos tonight. Connor O'Sullivan of the Cats. The two aren't related. Bailey Smith with a kick up the wing and finds Max Holmes. Holmes looks up towards half forward. Dangerfield and Neal are both there. Danger puts on the block. Griffin Lowe came across on the side. Sported away from Neal. Toby Pink's hand pass hard against the boundary line to Caleb Daniel. Simpkin used his body against Max Holmes. Takes the mark for the Roos. Hand pass away to Finn O'Sullivan. Through the middle of the ground for Davies-Uniacke. Wants to chip it up towards half forward. Batch takes the mark. Hand pass away to Sheasel. He's got lateral options here out to Stevens. And pass between wing and half forward on the outer side, but momentum has just lost a little there.
Oh, they couldn't reset North's forwards quick enough.
He tries to lace out a kick looking for a Batch, but the kick was offline and O'Shea Mullen, the Irishman, gets back and takes an intercepting mark for Geelong.
Canny Mayo, he kicks right down the wing. Up went Cameron, rising over Stevens. Couldn't bring down the mark, so Stevens will go in and collect for the Roos. Hand pass it away to Sheasel, who spins around and kicks it down the outer wing of Docklands to find Comben. Takes the mark. Hand pass back to Sheasel, who's got to retreat and hand pass back to Comben. This time he'll chip a little further down towards Powell. 55 metres out from goal. Powell will put it right into a hot spot. Inside forward 50. He might spill out the back and work for Finn O'Sullivan. He was getting tackled, couldn't get possession away cleanly. Powell comes in as well. He's dived on top of. And it will be a ball up though, right in front of North Melbourne's goals, about 15 metres out. So they trail by 17.
Bailey Smith with 8 disposals. Dylan Stevens with 8 disposals for the Kangaroos. Thrown up 15 metres out from the Roos goal. Teakle tried to take it in against the ruck. He was uncontested in the end and probably could have finished a bit better against Connor O'Sullivan. His kick on goal trickled to the right-hand side of the right goal post. And a minor score. Geelong by 16 points. 28 minutes gone. Opening quarter. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Tom Stewart to Henry to Smith through marks. Finn O'Sullivan had an intent coming after him. Bailey Smith still takes the mark. Then he chips it towards O'Connor. Running after it though was Simpkin. He was able to punch it away and get it over the boundary line to force a throw in.
It's just the one knock on Bailey Smith's game at the moment. Amazing. He's had the 9 possessions this quarter, 5 kicks, 4 handballs. But he's going at 40% with his kicking efficiency. And he gets so much of the football.
We just had a little chat with a crowd member then too.
That wouldn't be like Bailey Smith at all, would it? The ball comes towards him, he hand passes it, and it's back out of bounds for another throwing lead.
He had a smile on his face. He's
still over
going now. Yeah.
He likes. We're on bird watch as well.
He likes a bit of theatre. It's good for the game.
He
Little one out the back of the hand as a North fan was blowing him a kiss.
Yeah.
He is popular amongst both Geelong fans, but I'm sure the opposition fans don't mind giving it to him as well. Manor on half back to Bailey Smith on cue. Hand pass to Mullen around the boundary line for Geelong. Kick is up towards Pink. Awkward ball for him as he deals with that in front of Patrick Dangerfield and sees it out of play. Geelong 4-6-30 to North Melbourne 2-2-14. Jeremy Cameron booted the first 3 goals for Geelong. Cats kicked the first and then North kicked 2 to take the lead. The Cats have steadied since that point onwards, kicking the last 3 goals of the match.
Ball to be tossed in directly at centre wing. It's palmed down by Teakle and put into some space. Running onto it though is Manor, who tries to keep the ball in. He can't. It ends up in row 2. And it'll be a Toby Pink free left half back for the Roos. So he'll advance himself to exactly where the ball went out of bounds and then look backwards who's got low defensively and then decides he'll go and attack the footy by kicking it right down the wing. No mark could be taken. Connor O'Sullivan flew over Comben.
Coded against Comben though, Loz.
Right. It looked like O'Sullivan, if anything, went into Comben's back. But it's the free kick that goes to Jack Henry. So Jack Henry will take the free kick at right half back for the Cats, and it gets smothered by Comben over the line. So he holds it where it is for North. And there'll be a throw in with Geelong leading by 16 points late in the first.
It's just an error-riddled quarter by both teams.
Adam Ramanaskas and Cameron Ling, your experts. Matt Clinch, Lauren Borden and Lex Pesher with you. Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport. Tika wins down the tap against Blitzavs. Bowes over the top of it. Tom Atkins tries to wrestle it as well with Harry Sheasel jammed in the middle.
Look at this Geelong midfield right now. So it's Bowes, Manor, Atkins, maybe Dempsey's there as a winger. That's the, trying to be polite, the second string lineup. So that's the growth they need to have in their team as they head into the finals, to have that deeper, more high-quality second-string midfield.
Sheasel's kick inside 50 seemed to roll out of play, but Paul Curtis grabbed the back of Jack Henry's jumper. Umpire spotted it and tipped it back to Tom Stewart, who's now going to get a 50 because Charlie Comben was asked to take a couple of steps back and didn't hear.
But Comben went because the kick went about 7 metres to Stewart.
Gets Swanee onto it as Stewart drives it inside 50. Dangerfield the target, couldn't take the mark. Lays a big tackle on Toby Ping. Danger emerges with it. Hand pass looking for Stengel. Top of the 50 for the Cats. Sheasel gathers it. Hand pass away to Batch. Hand pass to McKercher. Here he goes. Takes a bounce. Gets full speed. It's a vacant 50. Tries to put it out in front of Darling. It's a 3-on-1 Geelong's way though. Jack Henry gets back. Supports O'Connor and Sam De Koning and chips out towards Max Holmes, who marks it left half back, and away go Geelong.
Puts out the kick to left half forward. It's marked by Shannon Neal. Stengel's running past him. Shannon Neal goes back, and it's a free kick going the other way.
I don't know what's going on right now.
I didn't see what that free kick was for. Neal in the end has to hand pass the footy to Hardiman, who it kicks down across for North Melbourne. They gather the footy back. It was all a bit of hard work as Banch takes it. Hand pass to Sheasel, hand pass to Stevens. He flicks it across to Davies-Uniacke. They're not gaining any ground. Hand passing around until Davies-Uniacke will put it to right half forward. Banch will mark as the siren sounds. He's 55 metres out from goal. But it will be Geelong's lead, 16 points at quarter time. It was a little bit of a strange quarter. So Jeremy Cameron with the first goal, then a couple of goals to North Melbourne, and then it was Geelong with the final 3 to end up with that 16-point lead at quarter time. Geelong 4-6-30, North Melbourne 2-2-14. In the goal kickers, it's Jeremy Cameron leading the way. He's added 3 to his tally for the season. Shannon Neal with another for Geelong, and then singles to Paul Curtis and Cam Zurhaar on the North Melbourne part of the page, Clinchy.
The voice of Lauren Borden on Matt Clinch. Lex Pesher is down on the boundary. Cameron Ling and Adam Ramanaskas are your experts on the SMS 0437 774 774. Do you learn by getting humiliated? Put a more senior player on Jeremy Cameron. That's from Andy. Fanning's record may go. North's B-grade defence and mids who perform when they want to. Ball use has been poor. That's from Neil in Coburg. Of course, Fred Fanning's record is
18 goals.
18 goals in a game.
I think that's still safe, but he could be eyeing off double figures.
3 goals to start the match in the opening 12 minutes after Rama predicted he'd get 8 or more. And also coming through from Jan, love hearing the young Kangas on my radio, 0437 774 774. And Beansy from Broadford says, "G'day team, might be a great crowd, but it sounds like there's more atmosphere tonight than there was from last night." Little chip there for the Bombers and the Bulldogs. Now the second test between the Wallabies and the British and Irish Lions has just got underway with Quentin Hull, Stephen Moore and Ned Hall. It's on the ABC Listen app. Just search for the ABC Sport Extra button, or of course we'll keep you across all the action tonight and the showdown between Adelaide and Port Adelaide about to get underway as well. Great to have your company on Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Everyone's an expert at something. It's what makes us all special. If only that were true.
Join Tom Gleeson for brand new Hard Quiz.
No expert subject turned away.
Wednesday nights on ABC TV and ABC iView.
This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Kangaroos through Luke Davies-Uniacke to McKercher, stripped of it in a tackle.
That'll be 50.
Tom Atkins should get 50 here. The footy wasn't returned.
That's silly. It's a short 50.
Oh, and Jez Cameron just broke.
He wants it around the back. He gets it from Tom Atkins. Jeremy Cameron on the runway from 50. He started without an opponent, and he slams through the first goal of the match.
Hand pass across to Constanti. Puts it into the pocket. Mark will be taken by Zerha. And North Melbourne with a quick entry inside 50. And Zerha will have a shot. Bends it towards goal. Puts it through the middle. And North are in front.
Now to O'Connor, who breaks through a tackle. Hand pass to Tom Atkins at right half forward. Out wide for Jeremy Cameron. Takes the mark, hemmed into the right forward pocket. 59 for the season, one already as Jeremy Cameron opens up the angle, curls it back on the left, and an effort to touch it on the goal line by Dawson was over the line. As here's Holmes emerging from the stoppage, drives it inside 50. Shannon Neal the target, backing back against Dawson and takes the mark directly in front. 40 metres out from goal. The big cat directly in front, looking to extend their lead. He comes in from 40 metres out and hands them their fourth goal of the match.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio
ABC Sport Digital.
and on the ABC Listen app.
Quarter time here at Docklands. Geelong leading by 16 points. Now we've just been watching the opening few seconds of the showdown. Cameron Ling, tell us what just happened.
First bounce, tapped down beautifully to Miles Bergman. Great centre clearance, long, deep into the forward line, except he kicked it the Adelaide Crows way. Laced out Darcy Fogarty for a set shot about 15 out from goal. Fogarty missed, though.
Who missed, which is the only saving grace for Port Adelaide and Miles Bergman.
When was the last time you saw that? You're both coaching your under-12s, under-9s.
I see it in under-12s regularly, but not at AFL.
Now, if you were following earlier today, Triple J had their hottest 100 Australian songs, and we did have correspondence from Trucker Pete. Number one on Triple J, hottest 100 Aussie songs of all time, Never Tear Us Apart. I hope that's not an omen. So the In Excess Classic, when Never Tear Us Apart, was number one, and number two was the Nosebleed section by the Hilltop Hoods. The thoughts of Adam Romanascus and Cameron Ling as Geelong lead by 16 points at quarter time.
Rama, it was a pretty dominant quarter from Geelong, but they certainly didn't fully capitalise on all
10 scoring shots.
Yeah, and really gettable ones. The Mark Blitzarve shot at goal, the Paddy Dangerfield, I think there was another one in there where it probably should be completely over by now at quarter time, whereas the door's been left a little bit ajar and Alistair Clarkson's got some things to fix up. But North Melbourne can at least go in there and go, okay, let's get a couple of our matchups right down back, and maybe our midfield can get a little bit of ball forward.
Yeah. Well, really, when I'm looking at this game, it's sort of a bit of a control of what North Melbourne are trying to hold on to. They've had the 29 marks for that quarter, whereas Geelong are a little bit of chaos. So I actually like the chaos for Geelong because I'm so used to seeing them be a very systematic football team. So I actually quite like it when they just, play as a free-spirited, free-wheeling team. They've got such dangerous, talented players. But North, on the other hand, they just as you said, just the matchups are just all wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you get matchups wrong to start the game.
That has to be a coaching thing, doesn't it?
Well, you would have to. Yeah, you have to say that.
It has to be because they immediately you go Jeremy Cameron. What's our preferred matchup? If he's high, it's this player. If he's deep, it's this player.
Yeah,
and it's two, and I would assume they're two key position backs.
Yeah.
Not 184 centimetre Colby McKercher.
But you do problem solving exercises as coaches day before the game. If this happens, Leslie is saying this is what we're doing. But it just looked like they let it go for 15 minutes within that quarter, and it was well. It's not going to correct itself.
So if he starts high, Ramo, who has the athleticism to go with him?
Griffin Logue.
Okay. So do you think he's got the fitness to go?
But hang on, I've got to jump in here. It's exactly the same. To start this second quarter, Jeremy Cameron starting at true centre half forward, and McKercher is taking the matchup because Logue's coming out to blitzarves.
But clearly, it's a directive to McKercher that he starts there and he's straight up to the contest.
Correct, but
don't leave Jeremy Cameron.
That's off Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah. The Cats are all over this because Tyson Stengel's gone to the goal square and said, well, let's push all our tools up the ground. Second quarter about to get underway. Geelong by 16 points. Opening tapped away at Bailey Smith. Hand pass to Holmes. Hand pass to Tom Atkins trying to spin out of a tackle from Parker. Little chip from Atkins out towards Tom Stewart. Bouncing ball, didn't take it cleanly, and then Zerha lays the tackle holding the ball. The ball got him and wins the free kick for the Kangaroos. As Tom Powell's just a little slow to rise.
Just a little chip from Zerhard to McKercher, who marks and then tries to hit out Parker. Slips off his fingertips. Bowes is allowed in for the Cats. Hand passes it to Stengel, who goes to Cameron, who's got himself in some space from Logue. He's 55 metres out from goal, spins around and wheels around as he does towards Blitzarves and marks.
He hasn't, has he?
And misses.
Oh,
no. I don't know how he stuck that one in.
Did he though? They're setting up as a point here.
It looked like he missed, and then the umpire gave the double.
This is a Cameron Ling moment.
Oh, stop it.
Right here.
Stop it.
No,
The same name came to my mind.
This is a Cameron Ling moment to our listeners.
The central umpires overruled this.
So we are going to the arc.
So
he's missed it.
Yeah,
he's missed it.
And the goal umpire didn't call for a review. He called it a goal. The field umpires jumped in and overruled. And I don't need your comments, thank you, Adam Ramanaska.
So hit the padding on the left goalpost, but Jeremy Cameron must be thinking, I just gave him a lace-out pass to run in the open goal, and he couldn't finish. Next time I'll kick it myself.
And he played on because he's been kicking set shots for goal awfully lately, poor Mark Blitzarves.
Number 46 is close to 45. Lee Geelong. There's a few connections here.
This is hurting.
Kangaroos fans take a deep breath. Geelong by 17 points. Jai Simpkin across half-back. McKercher had a sport away by Stengel. Dangerfield hand pass to Manor. 45 metres out. Back to Stengel. Snaps on his right and he misses. To the left-hand side. So 4 goals, 8 Geelong, 32 to North Melbourne, 2-2-14. They're keeping it close by their inaccuracy.
And they're starting to have some shots where there's better options available. There's one in the first quarter. It was Jack Martin, maybe. On that occasion, there were certain goals with a handball forward.
North will work it around the dockside wing as Powell hits Parker in the centre square of Dockland Stadium. He'll go for the switch across the outer side of the ground, looking for Dersma. Dempsey came in, hung in the air, and allowed Dempsey to come in as he takes it and takes 2 bounces. Hand pass to Cameron at the top of the 50. Hand pass to Holmes. Dempsey's kept running here. He takes the ball, but he's brought down by Pink in a tackle to the turf. And we pinned for that. So he helped carry it 80 metres down the ground, but once he got that hand pass inside 50, just couldn't make the most of it and was tackled. And it's the North Melbourne ball.
That feels like 3 certain goals gone begging.
Pink chips it out to McKercher, to Dersma, sends it up the wing. Jack Henry flying in front, takes the mark. Finbar Maley chips it inboard to Bailey Smith. Possession number 14 coming up. The man who's in contention for the Brownlow medal this season sends it out wide for Jeremy Cameron against 2. Can't take the mark against Toby Pink, although Dersma got back late just to provide some support. And a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Geelong. Around the grounds, Adelaide 4 behinds to Port Adelaide 1 behind. The Wallabies score the first penalty of the match against the British and Irish Lions, so 3-0 after 10 minutes. And not often do we do Collingwood's VFL, but 2 goals for Bobby Hill, who's returning alongside Jordan Ngoe tonight. So a couple of key names in the Magpies are heading their match against the Tigers tomorrow. Secondary stoppage inside the forward 50 for Geelong. Davies Uniacke alongside Tom Atkins as Blitzav slaps it towards Jeremy Cameron. He's on the move, cuts around 1. Hand pass too sharp for Manor. There was a whistle. And it's a Geelong free kick for a hold.
But didn't Geelong choose to take the advantage?
I thought so. Jeremy Cameron certainly was charging forward.
Yeah, I'm confused.
So Tyson Stengel has ball in hand in the right forward pocket. He's 45 metres out from goal. It's a bit fortunate the free kick against Caleb Daniel was called back. And Stengel has had 22 goals for the season. We'll try and add to that tally and build up towards September. Out to the right. Stengel looking to strike truly for Geelong. It's also across the face. Shannon Neal in the pack. Rises to take the mark. A few looks around as Brent Teagle had set himself in front, but it was Dawson who struggled to get a fist to it, and Neal in the middle. Hangs on to the mark. Steps out from 5 metres out. Opens the angle. Curls through his first goal. His second goal of the match, I should say. And Geelong extend their lead to 24 points. 5-8-38 to North Melbourne at 2-2-14. The Cats have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 9 scores of the match, and their first goal coming at the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport with Adam Ramanauskas and Cameron Ling.
Well, they're doing it pretty easy at the moment.
They are, but again, even that one, Rammer, wasn't a well-constructed shot because the it should have just been punched straight over the line. And another point, it was a mistake from the Kangaroos more so than
two of them there. It's just the body, having the body on your opponent, so he can't fly. Shannon Neal's 200 centimetres, so he's long. We understand that. But if you put a body on him so he can't jump in that contest, well, the ball goes through for a rush behind. So it's just the little fundamental things that North Melbourne just continue to fail at.
So it's back in the middle, and already there's a high free kick. No advantage will be paid. North Melbourne free. Bryn Teakle will take it, and he hand passes it off immediately towards Sheasel, who kicks right down the line inside 50 for North. It'll fall out the back here. Coblin can run onto it, put it towards goal, and it's a flying shot. And he misses to the near side. So behind for North Melbourne. Their first score of this third quarter, though. They go to 2-3-15. Geelong leading the way 5-8-38. 6 minutes played in the second term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Here's Matt Clinch.
Guthrie brings Geelong back into play to O'Connor at half-back. Hand pass to Jack Martin running the boundary line. Chips it up to Connor O'Sullivan. He takes the mark, signed a 2-year contract extension during the week to lock up his future to the Cats. Sends it up towards Neil Lamb. Blitzhouse in from the side, takes the mark. He wants to try and chip it because Manners on. Had to wear the contact in the end from Costandi. Spills out the way of Curtis, who's back in defence for North. Hand pass almost chopped off by Myers. Spills out the way of Curtis once more. But this is Hardiman with a hand pass away. They link up through half-back. Maley gets involved, and now to Luke Davies-Uniacke. Looks up inside 50. Comben caught behind. And Mark O'Connor dropped the mark in the end, trying to juggle it. Under the pressure now of Davies-Uniacke, who lays a big tackle. Ball spills out towards the boundary line. Bailey Smith and Maley see it out of play for a boundary throw-in.
It's just the finishing, because a couple of times North have been able to break, get some good open field play. And the kick inside 50 is just missing its target. And the Cats are able to counter-attack. But that, on that occasion, actually good follow-up by Davies-Uniacke to force the handball out of bounds.
All spun in. Stanley went with two hands, couldn't pick it up. Allows Teakle to get the footy and put the kick inside the forward pocket for North. It's just carried over the line, and it'll be a boundary throw-in inside the left forward pocket for North Melbourne. Robert Hanson Jr. sitting on the bench as the sub for the Kangaroos, and Lawson Humphreys for Geelong will be their sub tonight. Both unused, so we pass by the 8-minute mark of the second term. Geelong leading by 23 points. Ball spun in. It's Bailey Smith that gathers it and shoves it on his boot. It goes out to Dangerfield, who marks at centre wing, outer side of the ground. He can go here. He kicks to Shannon Neal, 45 metres out from goal. Plays on, hand passes it to Cameron, who puts his weight directly in front of goal and absolutely sprays this one across the face. It's out of bounds on the forward. He did a little hop as it came off his boot. He knew exactly where that was going.
Oh, just straighten the shoulders up there, Jezza.
Yeah.
Drop punt.
He almost can't believe how much space he's getting right now. It's a shock.
Griffin Logue with the Kangaroos out of defence. Jack Darling caught behind, but spoils it out of the hands of Mark O'Connor for a boundary throw-in.
Just that mark by Dangerfield. Dersman's got to be stronger in that marking contest. Like, don't play for the free kick. Play for the ball. Play for the ball and show how competitive you are.
He's a 19-year-old against a 35-year-old, and it looked every bit of that on the wing. Teakle slaps it down, got at the advantage of power, North Melbourne. Hand pass chopped off by Mullen of Geelong. Looping hand pass over the top, looking for Manor. Works his way against Simpkin to win the footy. Sockers it inside 50. Hardiman for the Kangaroos gathers. Hand pass to McKercher. Chips it out to Davies-Uniacke. A bit more of the footy in this second quarter. Possession number 9 coming up for him.
So McKercher's getting a fair bit of the ball at half-back, but I still don't like it, Rama. Do not like it one bit.
Davies-Uniacke kick smothered by Mullen. He's then taken high by Davies-Uniacke, who went to try and get the footy. Free kick. And Mullen hand passes it to Myers, who goes with a centering ball inside 50 for the Cats beautifully towards Blitzarves.
That is superb.
He's the best in the business when it comes to goal assists, Graham Myers.
That's how smart he is. He's kicked it to where 3 Geelong players could mark the ball.
Now, poor Mark Blitzarves, as I said before, he's on a horror streak at the moment, set shots. That's why he played on before. He's missed one from half a metre out. This will be a big relief if it goes through.
So he hit the post from half a metre out, and now he's kicking from 45 metres out, almost directly in front. That skewed off left right after it left his boot. So just another behind for Mark Blitzarves. At least it was a more difficult shot. And it's Geelong's lead out to 24 points, 10 minutes gone in the second term under the roof at Docklands.
McKercher brings the Kangaroos back into play, finds Jai Simpkin in the left back pocket. Now where to as he chips it out laterally.
Mark Blitzarves has proved that even after 288 games, the mental demons can get you sometimes.
Harry Sheasel takes the mark in the back pocket, sends the Kangas long up towards the wing. Good effort by Jack Darling in the pack. He emerges with a footy. Hand pass is chopped off though. O'Connor gets a hand pass inboard. Finds Myers one way then the other. Cuts back on his right. Great balance as he chips it up to Sean Manor at right half forward. Inside 50. Dangerfield on the lead. He takes the mark against Harry Sheasel. 50 metres out from goal out to the right, so he sends it into a dangerous position. Looking for Blitzouts or Neal. It bounces wide at Blitzouts. Banch got back. Down low and looked to be taken high. No whistle. As the Stroy arm seemed to have Ollie Dempsey over the shoulder, but not paid in the eyes of the umpire. A ball up 30 metres out from Geelong's goal. Cats by 24 points. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Umpire tosses it up. It's punched away by Teagle into the forward pocket manner. Chasing after it, can't get there quick enough, so it'll be another throw-in inside the forward 50 for the Cats.
Must be stressful being a coach. Chris got to be sitting in the box right now thinking we should be 12 goals up.
Yeah.
And the game's done.
There's a lot to play out in that top 8 as well, so percentage could well play a part on who finishes in the top 4 at the end of the season. Toss back in, Myers just tracking back after it, couldn't quite get it. Hardiman taps it away, it's picked up by Guthrie, hand pass to Dempsey, hand passes to Henry, just drops it and spills it, which means he's allowed it in the end for Finbar Maley to come in and grab the footy, but he's wrapped up, so it'll be a ball up. And half forward still for the Cats. Atkins is lurking at the bottom of the pack, and Stanley, unopposed, just punches it high up into the air, and at the drop it's taken by Stevens. He's pulled down in the tackle.
Loz, did we see the first sign of Greg Swan there? His influence. The umpire did not wait for the second ruckman.
Stanley almost looked around and then went, no, I'm going.
He said, bad luck, you're too far away, I'm just throwing it up. Brilliant if that's the case.
Oh, I hope it is the case.
So it comes back down. It's all a little scrappy as Mullen tries to grab it, hand pass it away, and it will be a free kick to North Melbourne. They'll take the advantage. Davies Uniacke across to Stevens, who kicked it to Simpkin, just tripped a little as he was running after the footy, but he's able to gather the ball and have some space. On the City wing, is tackled in the end by Martin, just gets the kick away and scrubbers it right along the ground.
Well done.
It's picked up by Banch, who comes in to grab the footy and can gather it from North Melbourne, brings it inside towards Parker. He's tackled. Ball comes out towards Darling. He just paddles it away along the turf to Parker, who hand passes it across to Simpkin.
He tries to move it up towards half forward. Banch takes the mark at left half forward for the Kangaroos. Geelong by 24 points. Into the pocket. The kick goes for Zerha. Trying to get rid of Jack Henry. It clears the two. And rolls out of play up against the left behind post. The Kangas have it inside forward 50. It's Geelong who lead by 24 points. Clinch and Lauren Borden calling the action. Lex Pesce down on the boundary. Cameron Ling and Adam Ramanauskas, your experts on ABC Sport. Around the grounds, Adelaide 2-5-17. Leading Port Adelaide one behind. Ben Keys and Alex Neil-Bullen, the goal kickers there. ABC call available, of course, on the ABC AFL extra button as it's gathered by Finbar Maley, who has a flying shot on goal. Couldn't quite control it. And skews out to the right and bounces into the top of the right behind post. Down a bounce on the full.
So ball will be brought in by Tom Stewart, just chips it across to O'Connor, who moves the footy across to Bailey Smith. So we've got it in the defensive half of the ground. Darling's dancing on the mark and then runs on towards him to put a little pressure on. As Smith goes towards Dempsey, tried to go with the one-handed mark in the end, was clever as he kicked it off the ground, and it'll work for Close, who marks. Hand passes it to Smith, who's running, takes it, puts the kick out wide to left half forward, will just keep it in as Neil marks. He had all the momentum spinning out in front of Pink. Marks as he's going over the boundary line, and Neil will put it inside 50 now for the Cats. The mark will be taken by Bowes. And the Cats will have a set shot in the forward pocket. It'll be in the hands of Jack Bowes.
Gee, Shannon Neal continues to get better and better.
Just there, the skipper, Jai Simpkin. Your man flies for the football, you've got to fly with him. Jack Bowes took the mark. Simpkin stayed down.
Jack Bowes to add his name to the goal-kicking list. He's got it. Jack Bowes snaps it through, and he's just the third goal kicker tonight for the Cats. It's Geelong 6-9-45. Pushed out to a 5-goal lead. North Melbourne 2-3-15. 15 minutes have been played in this second term, and it is Geelong with a 30-point lead.
What was that just before you flicked that over? Sorry, Ram. Did you see how many Bailey Smith's up to? Total disposals. We just flicked it over to the first quarter.
7 for the quarter, 18 for the half.
18 for the half. And it doesn't look... I'm not saying you need to do a hard tag or anything like that. Perhaps you want him to try things in the midfield. But you've got to take some responsibility for the guy when he's trying to... He runs hard, I get it. But don't let him be the one who's going to get the handball receive running past. Force one of the other Geelong players to try and beat you a little bit.
Well, it's got to be a bumper bar, really, to stop that run at some stage. So, teams talk about stopping the ball at the source. Well, you're giving that handball. Bailey Smith, he's a 50, 60-metre player every time he gets the ball.
From Ramanaskas and Cameron Ling with you on ABC Sport. Finbar Maley knocks it out for North, looking for Sheasel. Pinballs off a couple of players, including O'Shea Mullins, into the path of Luke Parker. His kick up towards half forward. Tom Stewart juggles the mark, and in the end, he wasn't paid the mark. He had front on contact from the efforts of Tom Powell. Stewart comes inboard, and 50-metre penalty here, going the way of Brian Myers. Costanti lazy on the mark. Myers now streaming towards 50. Harry Sheasel trying to just hold him up, but Myers is looking towards the goals. Veers out to the right, straight down the middle, and finishes with absolute class. He knew exactly what he was doing despite the North Melbourne defence lapping. 2 quick goals for the Cats to stretch it to a 36-point margin. 3 goals to none so far in this second quarter. Geelong 7-9-51 to North Melbourne 2-3-15. Adam Ramanaskas and Cameron Ling with you.
Rami, your kids probably don't watch the Cats as much as my kids do. He drives me crazy because constantly my kids want to kick like him. And it works so superbly well for him. But it is a crazy kicking style.
Well, this is the thing. This is the beauty of our game. Every player is slightly different. Now, Myers is more than slightly different. He's a lot different. So, but he's just comfortable kicking around that corner, and it works for him. You never see him sort of sky a ball sort of thing. Sometimes you see guys that kick it like that. They'll hit the fat side of it and will just go high in the air, but never. They're always low and hard, his kicks.
Brian Myers out of Grovedale, a Geelong local. That's his name on the scoreboard, is from the middle. Mullen takes it, and he's tackled to the ground for another ball up inside the centre of Docklands. So ball will be tossed up, and it's Blitzarves in there doing the ruck work for Geelong. Palms it down. Davies Uniacke takes it though. Hand pass to Parker, who tries to kick North Melbourne to advantage. He gets it to centre half forward, but Mark O'Connor was there to intercept for the Cats. Blares it out wide to Henry on the outer wing. He'll put plenty on his kick and kick it 50 metres down that wing. Dawson came in for North Melbourne but couldn't get anywhere near the footy in the end. It falls to Shannon Neal, who'll put a high ball up into the hot spot inside 50. And it'll be another mark to Geelong, and Stanley's on the end of this one for the Cats and will kick directly in front, 15 metres out from goal.
We've got caught ball watching his direct opponent, Bryn Teakle. Stanley just backed out of that of the contest. Bryn Teakle went to it, and then before he knew it, the ball was out, and Stanley was really all on his own there. Good strong mark, but they're the ones he has to take.
So now Stanley will kick. Not far out from goals at all as he skips in to ease this one through, and that's another one for the Cats. Stanley puts on Geelong's 8th goal of the night, 8-9-57. North Melbourne 2-3-15. Both of those goals for North coming in the first term, and it means that Geelong's lead is out to 42 points. It's 19 minutes played in this second term. Your ABC sport experts, Adam Ramanaskas and Cameron Ling.
And unfortunately for North Melbourne here, it was a decision, I think it was Dawson, who came to try and make the spoil, but in the end basically let the ball get over the back, but also wiped out his opponent, his teammate Griffin Logue, which allowed Shannon Neal to get out the back, and then a good disciplined kick into a dangerous part of the ground. As you said, Rama, Reece Stanley just went and said, I can get forward now. Now's the right time to push forward, and his opponent, caught ball watching, didn't go with him.
It's 12 inside 50s to 4 in this second quarter the way of Geelong, as Holmes receives it from the tap down, trying to break through. It's locked up in the end by Bryn Teakle.
And it's 7 in a row now to Geelong, so they're right away in this game now.
Young Kanga's being tested as Teakle tries to slap it forward, gain some territory. O'Shea Mullen tackled by Harry Sheasel, and the umpire will ball it up once more.
They've got to find some energy, North Melbourne. They're very, very flat tonight.
Sheasel tries to hack a ball out towards Finn O'Sullivan, but Bailey Smith, another involvement for Geelong. Hand pass away to Tom Atkins, draws a couple of opponents. Hand pass out to Manor on the wing, cuts back inboard on his right, kicks out towards half forward. Stengel the target, spoiled away by Hardiman. Cameron at the back, Loom dangerous, slapped away by Ping. Bailey Smith's hand pass to Holmes to the goal square. Shannon Neal trying to wrestle through. It ricochets off Dawson, goes through for a minor score. Geelong by 43 points. At the 21-minute mark of the second quarter, Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Well done, Dawson, there. He worked back hard into Neil. Probably should have got a free kick for it. He nearly caught out, and Neil was going to get his third.
Caleb Daniel bringing back footy in for North Melbourne, just chips it across to Powell. Still in the back pocket for North. Daniel's calling for the footy. He's tried to move ahead of the ball. And in the end, Powell will just put it on his boot and try and get it as far away from defensive goal as possible. Parker was around in the contest, and he does get the free kick for a little push in the back in that contest. Luke Parker will have the footy. Just chips it towards Sheasel as North Melbourne tried desperately to move the ball from end to end of Docklands Stadium. Sheasel will try and go with the switch here. It could be dangerous towards Pink. He holds on to it. Stengel was lurking, and Pink takes the mark, and then we'll chip it out wide towards Dersma. He takes it off a bounce and tries to chip the kick down the wing, and it was only to Dempsey in the end. He was the only player around. He easily intercepts the footy for the Cats as they lead by 43 points in this second term.
At the Adelaide Oval, the Crows lead in the showdown by 23 points against Port Adelaide. James Slipper scored a try for the Wallabies, so they lead 11-5 against the British and Irish Lions. There is a call available on the ABC Sport Extra button on the ABC Listen app. As Tom Atkins switches across half-back, Geelong leading by 43 points. Out to Jack Henry, who marks at right half-back. Sends it wide of Steele, and O'Shea Mullen marks at right half-back. Turns inward and chips the ball to Max Holmes. He turns within 10 and kicks up towards half forward. Shannon Neal comes leading out. Stengel went back with the flight. I think he gave away the free kick.
See, Jeremy Cameron was on too inside 50. His eyes had lit up. He was going to be the next one who received it, but the free kick was there.
Bryn Tickle will take the free kick for North Melbourne. His kick is a turnover. Marked on the wing by Zach Guthrie, who comes inboard to Holmes, who's off and running again. Chips it up towards half forward. Bowes gathers. Hand pass slapped away by Tickle. Spills out to Shannon Neal. 45 metres out from Geelong's goal. Hand pass to Bailey Smith. Inside 50 looking for Cameron. Hardiman makes the spoil and thumps it out of play for a boundary throw in.
That's good by Hardiman. Geelong
by 43 points. They've been 4 goals, 4 to North Melbourne's 1 behind so far in this second quarter. Inside 50s 14-9 the way of the Cats in this second quarter.
Geelong with a 13-game consecutive winning streak against North Melbourne, looking to make it 14 tonight. Daniel chasing after the throw-in, can't gather. Bowes does. Daniel wraps him up, as does Dawson. He joins in. It's the smallest player on the field with one of the tallest in Dawson.
So this is the perfect spot for the little out-the-back hit, and Cameron on his left foot arcing.
So it was a little hit out the back. It goes to Dangerfield. He hand passes it away. Bailey Smith collects, has a shot at goal. What a snap from Bailey Smith. He's had plenty of the footy tonight, and he's added a goal to his repertoire as well. So Bailey Smith puts one through. 9-10-64 the Cats are, and North Melbourne still languishing at 2-3-15. The margin's out to 49 points. And there's still a little bit of time to go in this second quarter. 24 minutes have been played. It's Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport. Your experts, Cameron Ling and Adam Rabanauskas.
I'm just sitting here watching that stoppage. North are trying to protect the goal line. It was obvious what Geelong were doing. Geelong were always going to try to bring the ball backwards as far as they can, but Bailey Smith's just not the person to sit off. Like you need to have an opponent somewhere near him. So he's sitting back on the... North Melbourne got more than enough numbers near the goal line.
Yeah.
You've got to then go and even up the contest on the other side.
Correct.
22 disposals, Rammer, and now a goal for Bailey Smith.
He's having a good game.
7 clearances as well.
Next highest on the ground is Max Holmes with 14 disposals. Back in the middle of the ground. Blitzhouse up against Tickle. Blitzhouse wins down the tap. Gets it to Max Holmes. Chips it up to Bowes. He pulls it in with one arm and marks it left half forward for Geelong. Stengel's on the move in the pocket. Stanley wants it deep. Dangerfield, they all want it, the Geelong forwards, rightfully so. The kick inside 50 looking for Stanley. Griffin Logue stands tall and takes the mark for North Melbourne.
Stanley was standing there pointing up, pointing to the roof, saying just put some height on it. Logan dropped in front of him, almost put it on his head, the old schoolyard specky. Let me run and jump at it.
Lowe goes down the wing. Stewart had front position. He'll get the free kick for high. It's advantage anyway. Hand pass to Myers. Hand pass to Holmes. Will kick right to the goal square. Dangerfield juggled it. Just lost it. The last second. Goes back in after it. Hands and knees. Hand passes it across to Cameron. Top of the goal square. Goals as he's falling. And Jez has got 4. His first for the second quarter. He adds to the 3 he got in the first. And Geelong brings up its 10th of the evening so far. 10-10-70, North Melbourne 2-3-15. We're on Jezza watch for how many he can kick tonight as Geelong pushes out to a 55-point advantage. 25 minutes have ticked over in the second quarter. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Okay, now it's getting ugly.
Well, it's 9 in a row now, Lingy.
Yeah. And as you said, it was probably a mark to Dangerfield, first of all, but then how's the follow-up? At ground level, hands and knees, just scrapped and fought for it to get the handball out to Cameron.
Inside 50s, leading this quarter 4 to North Melbourne.
Oh, no,
16. So we're 6 goals, 4. So 10 scoring shots from 16 entries. It could be a very, very long second half that we're in for.
Adam Ramanaska's forecasting what we might have to do to entertain ourselves, unfortunately. As Blitzhouse wins down the tap against Teakle. A hand pass from Jai Simpkin, chopped off by Brad Close of Geelong. Hand pass to Bailey Smith, another disposal inside 50. Cameron, pack was crashed.
Yeah, this is that dangerous one, is it? Where Dangerfield just pushed Pink and well, it's a free kick, so fortunately Pink didn't go colliding into anyone. Otherwise, that's the one where there can be
a lot of damage.
A lot of damage, yeah.
Hardiman and Jeremy Cameron were both going back with the flight, and Cameron's a little worse for wear as Hardiman receives the hand pass, kicks up towards the wing. No mark taken. Teakle keeps it alive for North. Hand pass to Parker. Hand pass to Coleman. Pushes. He got his kick inside 50. It won't matter as Zerha takes the mark in the left forward pocket. North have had 9 goals banged on them at the other end, and finally some transition. Cam Zerha marks in the left forward pocket.
And Zerha's looked dangerous tonight. It just hasn't been there at all. He hasn't had the opportunities. Each time he's around the foot, he's been a chance.
He's hit one of their 2 goals. He steps up, opens the angle and misses across the face of goal to the right-hand side. Geelong by 54 points at the 27-minute mark of the second quarter. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Tom Stewart swings the kick out broadcast side of the ground. Blitzarves 2 hands. Will get the free. Pulls it down again. It's the advantage anyway. He hand passes it to Guthrie. Hand pass to Dempsey, who slices the kick down the wing. It falls at the back to Teakle, though, who hand passes it to Logue as North Melbourne tries to do something with the footy. The hand pass comes to McKercher. He goes back to Logue. He's getting tackled. Has to hand pass quickly, looking for Simpkin. But it's Geelong that steal it back. Centre half forward. Myers hand passes across to Manor. Hand pass to Jeremy Cameron, who walks it in for his 5th. 5 goals for Jeremy Cameron. And that is 10 in a row for the Cats. They've kicked 7 consecutive this quarter and 10 in a row for Geelong, and the margin, if it wasn't already ugly, is out to 60 points. 11-10-76 North Melbourne 2-4-16. 28 minutes have passed in the second term.
What is happening here, Rama? So North Melbourne defenders there are just rolling the dice and hoping that ball is going to be won by a teammate of theirs. And I think on that occasion it was Hardiman, unfortunately, who was doing it. And Jeremy Cameron just did what a forward should do.
Stand his ground.
Stand there 20 metres out from goal, straight in front. Yeah. And if his team wins it, there's a goal.
Lex Pesher on the boundary.
I don't know if you guys saw it up there, but any other key forward in a game would probably be trying to get to the bench, not Jeremy Cameron. I think he hurt his hip. He was holding on to it and then skipping behind play just to get to his goal line, and it's working.
He led the Coleman medal by 11 goals before tonight. Another 5 on top of that. So 16 goals in front of Mitch Georgiades. With the Power having kicked a couple of goals. Adelaide's lead is 5 points. With Georgiades yet to hit the scoreboard so far. Inside 50 for Geelong. A chance to fly here for Reece Stanley. Can't take the mark. Dangerfield onto it. Tackled by Caleb Daniel. Almost holding the ball, but he hand pass is chopped off by Luke Davies-Uniacke anyway. Sends the Kangaroos through the middle of the ground. Coleman the target. De Koning used his body well. Wins the ball back for Geelong. Hand pass away to Connor O'Sullivan, who links inside defensive 50 to Guthrie. Kicks down low for O'Sheen Mullen, who genuflecting on the defensive 50 takes the mark for Geelong.
Puts it out wide towards Blitzarves, who takes it close to the boundary line. Hardiman trying to hem him in. Hand passes it across to Guthrie, who just chips it across to Manor. Has the footy at centre wing. Will put the get a better angle by putting it towards Dangerfield at centre half forward. Flares it out wide towards Bowes. Very easily, Bowes takes the mark, and he can just chip it into the pocket. Stengel standing all alone. There's Geelong players in a lot of space in this forward line, and Stengel will chip it towards Jezza, who was leading, as he always does, into the pocket. And he just had his defender in low, lagging behind him.
Do you reckon they know he's leading the Coleman?
Do you reckon they know he's a good player?
They've got him mixed up with someone else.
Someone's playing
This is
on
so
him.
bizarre.
Jeremy Cameron, as he loves to do from these pockets, will try and snap it towards goal, and this one's out of bounds on the full. So he's second out of bounds on the full, but he has already got 5 tonight. It's the 6th time he's had a haul of 5 or more goals already this season, and there's still a half of footy, and he's got 5.
He's had 7 shots on goal in a half.
And it's just the ease with which he's got them.
Kangaroos through Toby Pink, sends it long up to the wing. Fly in the pack was Paul Curtis, can't take the mark. Zerha kept it alive, slapped it back to Jai Simpkin. Gets the hand pass away to Stevens around the outer wing. Hand pass to Cam Zerha. He sends a long ball in the direction of Finbar Maley. It bounces in front of he and Connor O'Sullivan. And the Cat is happy to see it out of play for a boundary throw in. Left forward pocket for North Melbourne. Geelong leading by 60 points with still a minute to play till half time. 11 goals to 2, in which the Cats have booted 6 goals to none so far in this second quarter to really open up the gap. It feels like they play for Jeremy Cameron tonight. As Zach Guthrie tries to break away, Luke Davies-Uniacke lays the tackle and the ball up 45 metres out from the Kangaroos' goal.
Perhaps a chance for North Melbourne to break this run of 10 consecutive goals from Geelong, as Zerha pulls it out and will have a shot towards goal. It's right across the face from the stoppage, out of bounds on the full. And it'll be coming back the other way. So no score there for North Melbourne. They've just got one behind so far.
Does that say 38 inside 50s
yes,
for the
does.
Cats?
Yes, it does, Liggy.
I thought I had to be looking at the wrong column.
So decoding takes the footy for Geelong, just puts it out into a pack. Stanley could bring it down, but it's won back by North Melbourne as Powell takes it. Hand pass to Simpkin, who'll put it into a little hot spot looking for Maley. 2 hands took it down towards Zerha. It's the right man to have the footy for this reason. He spears it towards goal and delivers a much-needed 6 points for North Melbourne. It's enough to bring the margin back to 54 points very late in this second term.
Good on Bailey Smith here. So DeConing was bumped in the goal square when he wasn't looking, and it rocked him a little bit. So Bailey Smith has gone and remonstrated with Comben as he should here. So he got him a good one. He got him an actual. Yep.
Yeah, when you're not expecting
when you're not
contact.
expecting it, that hurts. So then Bailey Smith went down and remonstrated. Oh, I like that. That's a side you don't see a lot from Bailey Smith, but it's the way to endear yourself to your teammates pretty quickly.
It breaks a run of 10 unanswered goals for Geelong from the 12-minute mark of the first quarter through till the 32-minute mark of the second quarter. Back in the middle of the ground. Can the Kangas build on that? Parker's hand pass to Powell. Kick was smothered. Bailey Smith wins it back for Geelong. Hand pass to Bowes on the outer wing. Kicks up towards half forward. Stanley caught behind. Dawson brought it down. Had the arms chopped, and Dawson
Jez
take the free
swooping
kickers.
onto it again.
Cameron had just emerged with the footy, which was danger signs for everyone. Dawson at half back. He's going a barrel. He doesn't hit it all that sweetly. Up towards Teakle. He couldn't hang on to the mark. And the siren sounds for half-time here at Docklands. The Cats with a 54-point lead, courtesy of 7 goals to 1 in the second quarter, having led by 16 points at quarter time. Geelong 11-10-76 to North Melbourne 3-4-22. Jeremy Cameron has 5 to half-time. That's right, folks, 5. He led the Coleman by 11 goals before tonight. He possibly leads by 16 at the moment, with Mitch Georgiades yet to score in Adelaide's 3-6-24 to Port Adelaide 3-1-19 lead in Showdown 58. 2 goals to Shannon Neal, individuals to Myers and to Bowes, alongside Stanley as well. Bailey Smith, the other individual goal kickers for the Cats, while for North Melbourne, 2 goals to Cam Zerha and individual goal to Paul Curtis. Half-time here at Docklands. The Cats leading by 54 points. Cameron Ling and Adam Romanascus. Talk us through the dominant display we've seen so far.
Well, I mean, ultra impressive from the Cats. They've been sharp. They were. There was a brief period of time, though, Rama, where they were wasting a few of their opportunities and some of that dominance, and then they just went crazy.
Yep.
And then they piled them on, and Bailey Smith's having an absolute field day. He's had 25 disposals. He's kicked a goal. Max Holmes has had 16 touches in a half, which is massive, but seems small compared to Bailey Smith. And as Clinchy just mentioned, 5 goals already to Jeremy Cameron. Shannon Neal's been excellent as well, as playing a bit higher up the ground, some good strong marks. He's got 2 goals. The worry for North Melbourne, we spoke before the game, what might be a bit of a pass mark is get to half-time roughly equal, maybe a goal a quarter. Down, they end up down, they lose by 4 goals. In that quarter in particular, they lost entire defensive structure and got blown away.
What North are trying to do is they're trying to, when they do win the ball, now they've only had 18 inside 50, so the ball isn't in their forward half a lot. But they're trying to squeeze the ground up. And then you look down and you see 3 Geelong forwards just standing there by themselves. So it's like Clarko clearly wants his defenders to squeeze up. But I'm then turning around and going, well, they've had 38 inside 50s and 21 scoring shots. You know what, Clarko? I reckon I might just stay back.
Yep.
I reckon I might just stay back here and worry about my direct opponent to stop the avalanche.
And especially, and it doesn't always matter personnel-wise, but it's Jeremy Cameron, Patrick Dangerfield and Tyson Stengel are those 3 you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay, these guys are smart enough and good enough. They're probably going to get in the right spot too eventually when it comes in.
So look, this game now, it's clearly going to be Geelong by how much, unfortunately, okay? But if I'm in the North Melbourne rooms now, I'm thinking, well, what can I get out of this game? What can we still get out of this game? Now, I'd be putting Dersman at half-back to teach him some defensive mechanism, some defensive instinct. I'd be having a Sheasel probably run with either Max Holmes or Bailey Smith to go, well, this is the type of midfielder we want you to be.
Yep.
Go and track him.
Yeah,
go and hitch your caravan to these guys and see where they get to and where they go.
Learn the running pattern, learn the work rate.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great call.
I'll be putting Will Dawson to Jeremy Cameron to teach him to go, okay, you're a young defender. He's kicked 5 in the first half. Can you keep him to 1 or 2 in the second half?
Yep.
Like, get something out of the second half. Get some learnings out of the second half. Like, what Sheasel for the game has had 12. And I felt like he's been non-existent, really, in this game.
Yeah.
Put McKercher into the midfield now. Let him play in there.
Well, that one's just been bizarre, hasn't it? So, for anyone just joining us now, the very first centre bounce of both the first quarter and the second quarter, Jeremy Cameron lines up at centre forward. His opponent's McKercher, 184 centimetres. Now, they're possibly thinking, we want his creative ball use off half-back. We want him to get the ball in his hands. And he's won a little bit of the footy. What's he had? 13 disposals. But who cares? His defensive decisions, his defensive craft is so beginnerish that Jeremy Cameron now is just running riot and everybody else is trying to react and cover Cameron and there's holes everywhere. So you're right, let him get 12 touches in the second half further up the ground.
No doubt. No doubt.
Let him use that nice kick that he's got.
Well, Geelong have had 7 more disposals for the half. Okay, but they've nearly had 1,000 more metres gained. The game's clearly been played in Geelong's front half. But this is what I'm getting at. Like, how can we start with wrestling the territory battle back our way, or at least even it up in some capacity?
Because you've got some players who are, you can see they're the competitors of Melbourne, and they're going, oh, it's a bad night, we're going to get back. But I'm still going to win my little battle. I'm going to win my position. Cam Zerha's been one of those. Would you say it's come in 18 times?
18 times.
And yet he's kicked 2 goals, and he's had another shot, and he's looked threatening each time he's been around the ball. So that's how you can just at least build a game for yourself and for the team. Win little battles in this second half.
On the SMS 0437 774 774. Andy says, I love it. If Geelong players focus on Jezza at all costs, he could kick 15. We crave that, Lingy. Tell Chris, I want a bag. That's from Andy. They say young teams can struggle late in the season. No Cherry, no Wardlaw. The Youngaroos and Bombers look cooked, but I reckon both have bright futures. That's from Steve in Ballarat. Rog from Box Hill says, what's the greatest winning margin against the Kangas for the Cats in AFL Hero? I have been having a quick look at that, Rog. 112 points down at Caninian Park in 2022.
Oh, I thought it was good. One of Lee's teams.
It was Geelong's biggest win. They've only actually won 3 times by over 100 points since the 1980s.
Was one of them in a final in 2007?
2007, correct.
I remember that one well. Glenn Archer tried to start a fight with us in the warm-up. You know, when you used to do the laps and thing? He tried to start a fight.
Rich from Ocean Grove says, loving the call. I remember when Myers first appeared in the AFL, he was asked by his coaches if he wanted to change his kicking style, and he answered, like all of them. So he hasn't changed his style since day one. And Lingy, why can't we have hard tags these days? It's my pet hate as to why we don't see fair tags like you, players like yourself, Lingy, against the stars of the competition.
He wasn't fair. He used to hold on. Contest.
Yeah, it's only holding if the umpire says
it. Correct.
No, there's still a place for it when you've got highly influential opposition players in the midfield.
Well, players had 25 possessions in a half of football. Yeah. Like put someone near him.
Yep.
Now, around the grounds, Adelaide lead Port Adelaide by 10 points, 4-6-30 to Port Adelaide 3-2-20. So the Crows by 10 points there. There is an ABC call available on the ABC Listen app. Just click on the AFL Extra button, as there is a call of the Wallabies and the British and Irish Lions with Quentin Hull, Stephen Moore and Ned Hall on the sideline. What a turnaround it's been by the Wallabies after a disappointing first outings. They lead 23 points to 17 at half-time. So 3 tries to the Wallabies to start proceedings, and then a couple to the British and Irish Lions before half-time. So call available on the ABC Listen app. Just look for the ABC Sport Extra button. Geelong by 54 points here at Docklands against the Kangaroos. Let's bring you the latest from the ABC newsroom.
ABC News. Good evening, I'm William Howard. The World Food Programme says nearly 100,000 Palestinian women and children are in need of urgent medical treatment amid surging malnutrition in Gaza. Larry Buttrose reports.
The programme says almost a third of the people in Gaza are now going for days without food amid intensifying warnings about starvation and malnutrition. Israel has been restricting movement of supplies into the territory, claiming Hamas militants have hijacked aid. But an Australian doctor who's been working in Gaza disputes the Israeli claims. Israel has now announced it'll allow foreign countries to airdrop aid into Gaza in coming days, and Britain has announced it'll take part in airdrops and help evacuate children in need of urgent medical attention.
After months of political chaos, a mass recall vote has concluded in Taiwan. A total of 24 opposition MPs have been voted on today, and another 7 will learn their fate next month. Those behind the grassroots recall campaign say the opposition has put Taiwan's security at risk by blocking budgets and defence programs. But the opposition argues the recall is malicious. 32 people have been reported killed in escalating clashes between Thailand and Cambodia, with Phnom Penh reporting 12 new deaths. Ali Crew has more.
Officials in Thailand say a hospital in Surin province has been badly damaged after being hit by Cambodian rocket fire. All the patients in the facility had been evacuated. Explosions and heavy gunfire can be heard as the two sides exchange fire in areas along the Thai-Cambodian border. The conflict has seen tens of thousands of people flee their homes, with Thailand declaring martial law in 8 districts. Malaysia is offering to mediate between the two sides and is calling for an end to the hostilities. The UN Security Council has met behind closed doors in New York to discuss the crisis.
US President Donald Trump has again denied his name appears in files related to late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. It follows reports in US media. Attorney General Pam Bondi informed Mr. Trump his name is in the files. Deputy US Attorney General Todd Blanche, who's also Mr. Trump's former personal lawyer, has questioned Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, for a second day. Her lawyer, David Oscar Marcus, has thanked Mr. Blanche for meeting with his client.
He took a full day and asked a lot of questions, and Ms. Maxwell answered every single question. She never invoked a privilege. She never declined to answer. She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability.
ACT Chief Minister Andrew Barr has used a Labor conference to call for more health funding from the federal government. At the election in May, federal Labor committed more than $14 million to support bulk billing GPs in the ACT, on top of national commitments to incentivise more bulk billing. Health spending now makes up more than a third of the ACT budget and is projected to grow. Mr Barr has welcomed the funding for primary care.
But we always need a little more from our federal colleagues. And we are looking forward to a successful negotiation on the next 5-year federal health reform agreement. Delegates, our public hospitals do need a further injection of federal funds to help meet this increased demand.
Victoria's opposition is increasing its pressure on the state government to scrap its controversial emergency services levy. Dozens of councillors and mayors from across the state are meeting with the United Firefighters Union today to air their grievances about the Emergency Services and Volunteers Fund levy, which they say is a multi-billion-dollar tax grab. The Victorian government last month announced it would cap the levy at the 2024-25 rate for all primary production properties for the coming financial year. But Shadow Emergency Services Minister Danny O'Brien says it's not enough.
I think it's very clear that the councils are angry, but obviously the community is angry. We've had a number of protests about this tax, and I think the government really should start to wake up. They have given a 1-year pause for farmers, but that's not enough.
And in sport, the Titans have rallied for Des Hasler in his 500th game as an NRL coach, with an upset 24 points to 16 win over the Warriors in Auckland. Gold Coast recovered after conceding the first 2 tries with doubles to Philip Sami and Jojo Fafita. The win lifts the Titans from the bottom of the ladder for the first time since round 12. And you're up to date with the very latest ABC News. For more news at any time, you can download the ABC Listen app.
Ben Cameron and Corbin Middlemash from ABC Sport here.
Alongside Paul Roos, Brett Delidio and Poppy Penny, we bring you all the latest AFL news from both on and off the field on the ABC AFL Daily podcast.
You can hear it all on the ABC Listen app.
Time to steady and pull the trigger!
Get ABC AFL Daily Podcast. It's your daily footy conversation. Find it on the ABC Listen app. This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
55 metres out from goal, spins around and wheels around as he does towards blitz halves marks.
He hasn't, has he?
And misses.
No.
I don't know how he stuck that one in.
Did he though? They're setting up as a point here.
This is a Cameron Ling moment.
Oh, stop it right here. Stop it.
So now going to the arc.
Oh, he missed it.
Yeah.
He missed it.
And I don't need your comments there, Adam Ramanaski.
Stewart comes inboard and 50-metre penalty here going the way of Brian Myers. Sheasel trying to just hold him up, but Myers is looking towards the goals. Veers out to the right, straight down the middle, and finishes with absolute class.
He'll put a high ball up into the hot spot inside 50. And it'll be another mark to Geelong, and Stanley's on the end of this one.
It's 12 inside 50s to 4 in this second quarter the way of Geelong.
And it's 7 in a row now to Geelong. They're right away in this game now.
Not far out from goals at all as he skips in to ease this one through. And that's another one for the Cats. He'll kick right to the goal square. Dangerfield juggled it, just lost it. The last second goes back in after it. Hands and knees. Hand passes it across to Cameron. Top of the goal square. Goals as he's falling. And Jensen's got 4, but it's Geelong that steal it back. Centre half forward. Bayern hand passes across to Manor. Hand pass to Jeremy Cameron, who walks it in for his 5th. And that is 10 in a row for the Cats.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Halftime here at Docklands, and it's the Cats with a comfortable lead of 54 points at the main break. 11-10-76 to North Melbourne 3-4-22. I'm Matt Clinch, and as you heard from Lauren Borden there, 10 consecutive goals for the Cats from midway through the first quarter until the 29-minute mark of the second quarter. They would boot 7 goals to 1 in the first half to lead by 54 points, in which Jeremy Cameron, who leads the Coleman medal so far by 11 before tonight, has put 5 through in the first half to stretch that lead to 16 so far. And he is doing the damage for Geelong. 2 goals to Shannon Neal, while 2 goals for Cam Zurhaar for the Kangaroos. Matt Clinch and Lauren Borden calling the action. Cameron Ling and Adam Ronaskis are your experts, with Lex Pesher down on the boundary. It has felt like a round where the good sides are absolutely trying to make statements where they can. No bigger than the Gold Coast Suns, who prevailed in the Q Clash, number 29, as they're trying to appear in finals for the first time, by 66 points, 20-10-130 to the Brisbane Lions 9-10-64, in which it was led by Ben Long, who booted 4 goals, Noah Answorth, Bailey Humphries and Jai Farrell with 3 goals. Matt Rowell had 37 disposals, 15 clearances, 12 tackles and 10 score involvements.
Some sort of game.
Lockie Neal had 36 disposals for the Brisbane Lions. So that feels like a really important win for the Suns, especially given how disappointing they were the week before against Adelaide.
There's a huge statement. Yeah, and you're right. They had to bounce back after last week's performance, but that was massive. That was impressive today. I thought Brisbane had put the foot down and was starting to head to September and really flying, and to go out there and destroy them. What about that game from Rowell? Sometimes numbers could just roll off your tongue and you don't stop and think about just how good it is. But that was a monster. 23 contested possessions, 12 tackles. As you said, with the clearances, 15, 7 inside 50s, 10 score involvements.
And he had Josh Dunkley as an opponent, who is an absolute star.
Yeah, and a beast as well. Was it Rowell's 2-year deal he did?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a bidding frenzy.
Yeah.
When that comes up again.
And of course, the Brisbane Lions had that record over the Gold Coast Suns. It was like 13-1, wasn't it, before today? The Western Derby, 61 for our listeners in Perth who are tuning in on the app. Freo prevailed by 49 points, 18-18, 126 to the Eagles, 12-5, 77. In front of 54,000 fans at Perth Stadium. Michael Frederick with 4 goals. Patrick Voss continued his good form after 6 goals against the Magpies, putting 3, alongside Jai Amos as well. So 6 goals to 2 the way of the Dockers in the first quarter. Set up the catalyst for what was a 49-point victory. And Harley Reid, just the 15 disposals with all the speculation around him. It will be interesting to see how he handles the closing rounds of the season.
And maybe a little ankle injury, I think. Yep. So, pulled up sore from the game. It's going to be important for him to actually finish the year well.
Yep.
There's all this talk and these, and who knows how much is true and how much is not true, but these huge figures are getting thrown around, managers flying in, all that. He's got to finish the year well, just so he can remind everyone, hey, no, I can seriously play, and get rid of the ill-discipline stuff that he does, and just be taken really seriously as a footballer and not have this little bit of a circus that's going on around him at the moment.
So last night it was the Bulldogs with 7 goals to 2 in the third quarter against the Bombers, although that shadowed the Giants and what they did to Sydney with their 9 goals to 1 in the third quarter. Adelaide leading Port Adelaide by 21 points in the showdown. It is a wet affair there. 6-6-42 to Port Adelaide at 3-3-21. There is a call available on the ABC Listen app. Just click on the AFL Extra button, as there is the Wallabies in their second test against the British and Irish Lions with Quentin Hull, Stephen Moore and Ned Hall. The Wallabies at half-time leading 23 points to 17. And a much more spirited effort by the Wallabies. They scored a couple of penalties and scored the first 2 tries of the match. The British and Irish Lions fighting back late in that first half. So a crowd of over 80,000, over 90,000 expected at the MCG for that tonight. And we'll bring you all the details at the full-time siren. But the players heading back out in position. How stern do you think Alistair Clarkson would have been with his young charges about the intent in which they're playing?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he was stern. Now, that doesn't mean he's given him a massive spray and the like, but they're. I hope they have set up wrong, because if they've set up right in that first quarter, they've got a lot to worry about in this second half. So I hope it was a lot of problem. Now, Toby, it's a good start.
It's a good start, isn't it? Just a little sign, but it's a positive start.
Yeah. But you've also got Riley Hardiman on Shannon Neal. So he's given up probably about 15 centimetres, I reckon.
Yep.
He's been switched from one key forward to the emerging key forward. His plays underway in the third quarter. It is Geelong leading by 54 points. Jeremy Cameron's already got 5. As North Melbourne look to make a response in this second half. Atkins grabs the footy. He's tackled by Davies Uniacke and brought down to the turf. The umpire will come in and ball it up. So neither sub has been used yet. Robert Hanson Jr. for North Melbourne, Lawson Humphries for Geelong, both still sitting on the bench and available Ball is tossed up. Parker grabs it this time, drops the footy, goes back in after it, picks it up, gets to a boot as he's lying onto the ground. Hand passes it away. Teagle running after it, beaten there by Stengel. Just keeps soccering the ball along to half forward where Cameron will pick it up. Hand pass to Martin. They've got a little bit of run going now. Geelong kicks it towards Blitzards, or Stanley rather, at the top of the 50. He takes the footy and he's taken over the boundary line by Dawson. And it'll be a throw-in at the top of the attacking 50. They're kicking towards the Coventry and the Cats in the third term.
So Stanley started forward, Blitzards in the ruck. Most of the first half it was the opposite, and then Blitzards would come up and give him a little rest, but just trying something a bit different.
Chris Scott almost trying to stretch North Melbourne's undersized defence. Stanley in front wins down the tap. A stray whistle from the middle of the ground, and it's a Geelong free kick. Tom Atkins will take it against Luke Davies-Uniacke. Just inside the 50. Long centering ball looking for Shannon Neal. He flies in the pack, can't take the mark. At the back, it's gathered by Finn O'Sullivan. Hand pass to McKercher, who's kicked towards the boundary line. It trickles away wide of Jacob Stanty and goes out of play. Just 50 metres out from Geelong's goal. So 90 seconds in. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Still the Cats leading by 54 points.
Ball will be spun in just inside forward 50 for the Cats. On the last 13 against North Melbourne by an average of 45 points. The margin's 54 at the moment. As Parker grabs the footy and clears it away, sends it down the wing, looking for Darling, got two hands to it. Connor O'Sullivan stole it off him, was forced to hand pass it away. Simpkin can pick it up and hand pass it away to Finn O'Sullivan of North Melbourne, who has to hand pass it to Darling. They were very close to the boundary line. It will be thrown in at about half forward for the Cats. So North Melbourne scoring 1-2, 8 in the second term, and it was Geelong with 7-4-46. Which led them to a 54-point lead at the main break as Blitzards takes it out from the boundary throw-in. It's towards Sheasel, though, who picks it up for North. Hand passes it backwards towards McKercher, who takes a bounce, but he's still running towards Sheasel, who hand passes it to Lowe, shares it with him. Sheasel hand passes it towards McKercher, who fumbles it as he's running towards defensive goal. And it's brought over the boundary line by Myers, and it's a throw-in. So they went back defensively there, North, and in the end now it's a throw-in next to the left behind post for the Cats.
McKercher just keeps setting up for that back feed to get the little kick, but
got to go forward.
Yeah.
Thrown in, Stanley tries to knock it over the back against Teagle, but a clearing kick for the Kangaroos to half-back. Bailey Smith's onto it, cuts around a couple of opponents for his second. And this is to the left-hand side at a minor score. Geelong by 55 points. Cheer to Fran in Melbourne, putting my favourite highlight together already. It's like old times. We've seen Lingy and Rama back together again. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
But it's what we're talking about with McKercher at half-time. Like, he's got to be a go-forward player. Like this habit of wrapping around the back and getting kicks, it's not going to hold him in good stead.
Stevens kicks down the line through the fingertips of Teagle. Daniel's there to pick up. Hand pass across to Curtis. Hand passes it away to Constanti. We'll put it inside 50. It's over the head of Darling, though. It's in the left forward pocket. And it's O'Sullivan of the Cats who picks it up ably and moves the ball across to Close. He's right in the defensive goal square. He'll just kick it out wide. He was under a bit of pressure, got rid of it quickly, and Toby Pink's there to cut it off at the top of the 50 for North Melbourne. Hand pass to Sheasel, will kick towards goal. He's 45 metres out. Comben can bring it to ground. It'll be cleaned up there by O'Connor, who hand passes it across to Myers. Who can clear the kick to Stanley.
Reece Stanley takes the mark and can chip it up the wing. Max Holmes has the mark. There's two players inside 50. Dangerfield and Cameron. Dangerfield takes the mark. He'll centre it to Jeremy Cameron, who will walk in and trickle through his sixth. Unselfish from the Geelong captain in game 200 in the hoops. And I think every Geelong player is on the same page tonight. Get Jezza the ball. And he has 6 tonight so far. The Cat leading the Coleman so far, and Geelong lead by 61 points with their first goal of the third quarter. 12-11-83 to North Melbourne 3-4-22. Another defensive breakdown by the Kangaroos.
This is his 273rd game, Jeremy Cameron. He would never have had this much space in any of the other 272.
No.
This is crazy.
We said it from the start. There's two of them. Like North Melbourne's defence is all at sea. Like their setup, their method, their communication, it's simply not there tonight.
Back in the middle, Parker grabs it, hand passes it to Simpkin. The two in the middle for North try and link up to get an inside 50 for the Kangas. It goes out the back. It's a big punch coming from De Koning, who punches it close to the boundary line. It'll just be kept in, it won't. Zerha's just happy to pull it over the boundary and set up again for a throw-in just inside forward 50 for the Kangas.
And again, I'm looking at North Melbourne's. There's 5 defenders within 10 metres of each other.
Yeah, and look at the confusion. They're going in
Let's get Sheasel now right at the back.
So high throwing, Davies Uniacke will track it, hand pass it across to Stevens. Hand passes to Parker, has to spin himself around to face the goal. Just quickly kicks to a hotspot. Comben comes rising in and jumping over the pack. Went vertical but fell down without the footy. Daniel will collect, hand pass to McKercher. Little fumble, still takes it. He'll hand pass it away to Constanti. He'll have a kick towards goal. It was touched on the line. It was still in the end. It was well done by Henry to keep it in. Hand passes it to Manor, and Manor can clear it across to left half back towards Brad Close.
They're just going to review it. So what happens here? Does that still remain Brad Close's mark?
It should.
Because it was...
I dare say the message would have went into the umpire's ear from the arc.
So we are checking to see whether the ball hit the post here, if you didn't hear that from the big screen here. So we're seeing a freeze frame of Jack Henry and the left goalpost, which doesn't really help us yet.
No, we need it to actually play.
Someone hit play on the...
Well, haven't they got Snicko?
Have you got the remote?
It's underneath the pillows. There is a spike, so it will be a Bayer line. So the ball will be taken out of the hands of Brad Close and given back to Tom Stewart. And a behind will be scored, so Geelong by 60 points.
Just for my education, Rammer. So if it hadn't crossed the goal and hadn't hit the post, it would still remain Brad Close's mark out there.
Yeah, that's what I would assume.
Yeah.
Geelong by 60 points. Tom Stewart, of course, that knee concern last week. Just his 8th disposal coming up here in the third quarter. Ball hasn't been down there all that much as he kicks out towards Shannon Neal. Nudged underneath it, and Hardiman takes a good mark with support from Toby Pink. He looks to get a hurry on here and drive North Melbourne inside 50. Comben the deepest target against Henry. Got rid of Henry, couldn't take the mark. Spills away and Jack Henry gets a hand pass back to Stewart. Away to Ollie Dempsey. Clears the defensive 50 for Geelong. Up towards Blitzabs. Slaps it away from Teakle. Davies Uniacke read it best. Hand pass to Parker. Quick hand pass to Daniel. That's where it breaks down. Myers takes it back from Geelong.
Yes.
Into the middle to Shannon Neal.
And they're on here. Shannon Neal with a long kick to Cameron. Pink is desperately tracking back. Gets a fingertip, but Cameron can run onto it. Can't gather it cleanly. He'll get the hand pass back from Stanley. Then Cameron's got a hand pass backwards towards Manor. Hand pass to Close. He tries to kick it around his body. It goes about 5 metres towards Stanley. He fumbles it. Myers will have a shot at goal. Just soccers it. And it's a behind from all that chaos. And it might have been a chance there for Cameron, a very good chance to put on his 7th. But it goes begging just a behind. 12-84 the Cats. 3-5-23. Lex Pesce on the boundary.
Was that blatantly obvious? They were trying to get it to Jeremy Cameron up there as it was down here.
I think everyone's well aware of what's taking place tonight as Sheasel's clearing kick. Works out in the end as Maley gave the hand pass to Parker. Hand pass just a little loose for Simpkin. It ricochets back to Maley. Tackled and brought down by Blitzabs holding the ball. Geelong win it back between wing and half forward. Jeremy Cameron has 6 goals so far tonight in Geelong's 61-point lead over North Melbourne. Blitzabs started this third quarter in the ruck with Reece Stanley starting in the forward 50. Blitzabs into the pocket. Stanley's there. Shannon Neal in the pack. Dangerfield stayed down. His hand pass Danger chopped off trying to find Dempsey. And McKercher with a clearing ball out towards Maley at half-back. Blitzabs makes the spoil from behind. Maley over the footy now. Jack Darling comes in trying to lock the ball up. And the umpire will ball it up at right half forward for the Cats.
I'm going to pose you a question, Lee, just to get us through this second half. Is Mark Blitzabs the greatest utility to play the game?
That is
if you think of all the positions that he's played at Geelong.
Ruck, fullback, wing. He's played centre forward tonight.
Played on ball as a ruck rover.
Two-time best and fairest winner, All-Australian, premiership player, nearly 300 games.
Blitzabs involved against Teakle as he tries to grab the footy. And in the end, it's just a bit of a scrum that goes inside 50 for the Cats. Man up, and McKercher coming off the ground.
Just give me a minute or two to think of a few other utilities.
Matthew Pavlich was an All-Australian in multiple positions.
That's a good thought.
So looking for Blitzabs as the best all-rounder, really, is he? As the ball is tossed up, Dempsey just pan passes behind his head. It goes to space in the end. He tried to be crafty as Parker takes it. Hand passes to Diesel, to Stevens, who was out of bounds, Rama.
Oh, 100% that was out of bounds.
And it will be a boundary throw.
It will be anyway, but...
Before it was smothered over it was...
They're right there. The two boundary umpires are 2 metres away. I'm 50 metres away and I can see that. Jeez, I'm getting frustrated tonight. Sorry. Sorry.
61.
Adam Ramanauskas with you on ABC Sport alongside Cameron Ling. Patrick Dangerfield trying to get the clearing kick for Geelong on the 50. Tackled and dispossessed. Caleb Daniel kicks up the wing for North Melbourne. Comben just bumped off it by Connor O'Sullivan. Used his body well. Gets the hand pass to Geelong to Bailey Smith. Possession number 27 for him as he works it back to O'Sheen Mullen. And back inside defensive 50 with a kick to Jack Henry. Switches across the half-back line. Mark O'Connor looks out to the far side. Close runs into space. He gathers in front of Finn O'Sullivan. Chips it back inboard to Guthrie.
I've got one for you, Rama. I'll let this play unfold.
Guthrie switches across half-back. Let us know on the SMS, 0437 774 774. Best utility player is Jack Henry out to the wing. To Mullen. Down pass away to Connor O'Sullivan. Back to Mullen. Now to Tom Atkins. North have the defensive 50 stacked.
That went
still chipping over the top, and the mark is taken by Shannon Neal, but that was not 15.
Adam Goods.
Yes, very
qualify.
good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, certainly.
That's probably the best one. I was thinking of guys like Chris Tarrant, who played forward and defence, Adam Hunter.
But Goodsy was
a ruckman.
Yeah, ruckman.
Then he did his PCL.
I played against him as a midfielder.
Yeah. Played centre half back, played centre half forward,
Shannon Neal has 2 goals tonight behind Jeremy Cameron with his 6. Out to the right, 50 from home. He sets flight into the night sky. It's not a bad effort. It drifts left to right and just touched on the goal line and through for a minor score. Teakle getting back the opposing ruck doing the right thing, seeing it through for a minor score. Geelong by 62 points.
Does Anthony Koutafidis qualify as a utility?
Probably. He didn't play much in defence though, did he?
Yeah, he played centre half back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Colby McKercher tries to bring it in for North Melbourne. He kicks it right down to a 1-1.
We've had some good ones.
Wins.
Yeah.
And Holmes will go inside 50 here again for the Cats. It's Davies Uniacke who he was touched off the boot, so he won't be paid the mark. And it's a free kick going the way of the Cats.
Is it Brad Close who's going to get this?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's a good tackle on Davies Uniacke.
This is a good reward for Close because he's not the one who's filling his boots at the moment.
So Brad Close goes for a snap and misses to the left-hand side. He has been doing a lot this game, though, spending some time in defence as well, but just a minor score for the Cats. The crowd feels very flat at the moment. It's 63 points, Geelong's advantage, 12-14-86, playing 3-5-23. 13 minutes have passed in the third quarter.
I think there's a few Kangas fans who've just headed down the road to see if there's any spare seats.
Gee.
What do you reckon, Lex? This is a North Melbourne home game, but what's the vibe down at ground level?
It's pretty flat. You're not wrong. I did see some little fans before and they were asking me, have you sent any players? We're trying to find them. So they've got different agendas now.
Zane Dersman's kick up towards the wing. The target was Jack Darling in the pack. Finbar Maley was there as well. It's locked up by Mark O'Connor and a ball up on the outer wing. Geelong 12-14-86, leading North Melbourne 3-5-23. Matt Clinch and Lauren Borden calling the action. Lex Pesce down the boundary. Cameron Ling and Adam Ramanauskas, your Rex Surts. The Cats just try and hurry it forward. Graham Myers is tackled. Brought down and the umpire will ball it up.
Does Sean Burgoyne qualify as a utility? Well, not quite. More a genuine mid.
Rammer is pondering that.
Not in the same mould as the other.
Get your top 3 by the time the night is out, Rammer. And you're 3-2-1. We might have a bit of time to work our way through. McKercher trying to clear out towards Banch. Can't take the mark. Picked up by Jack Martin. Hand pass to Jezza. Here he is again for number 7. Jeremy Cameron jags it through once more. All the Geelong players are on the same page now. And Cameron streaming inside 50. It's a nightmare scene on repeat for North Melbourne defenders and their fans in at Docklands. The Kangaroos by 69 points. Jeremy Cameron has 7. The leading Cat in the Coleman so far. 13-14-92 to North Melbourne. 3-5-23.
He's still... As much space as he's got and as ridiculous as all this is, Rammer, and we're shaking our heads, he's still got to do the work and get to the right spot. And he's just... His work rate, his extreme athleticism for his height, and his footy smarts, his brain to just keep ending up in the right spots. It's great to watch.
Toby Pick made the wrong decision there. He tried to get involved in the offence and it turned over. Cameron doesn't go with him.
I wish I could move like Jez.
Yes.
Lex Pesher on the boundary.
The Cats have made their sub, so it's Lawson Humphrey who comes into the action and Patrick Dangerfield who's been
Good
subbed
idea.
out.
Right, yep. So that's an early sub, just put Danger on ice.
That's clever. You need him firing in September, not...
Something the Cats are very good at too is managing the players.
I would love if Paddy Dangerfield after the game has to run laps because he didn't get it. That would be a photo.
His GPS data wasn't high enough.
Lex on the boundary.
Sarge in the back of his neck at the moment, so I don't think he's doing any running.
Thanks, Lex. And it could be another Cat score coming up. Neil, hand pass to Atkins. Inside 50. Cameron takes the mark on the lead. And he will have a chance to slot through his 8th goal of the match. Just got a little lead on Toby Pink.
Yeah, it's beautiful coming out of the centre square.
Yeah. And that's so hard for Toby Pink. He's not stopping that one.
So Cameron makes sure everyone's set up the appropriate distance away from him. He'll look to snap from a 45-degree angle, 35 metres out. It's an ugly-looking kick.
He didn't get the distance.
Dawson, the big 200-centimetre defender, stands on the line.
So the three that haven't scored have been all very, very gettable.
Yes.
We've seen Jeremy Cameron do that 100 times.
He could have his 10th up already.
Yes.
One was out on the full, but the rest, have all fallen short. The Kangaroos try and work it on half-back. Pink's hand pass to Simpkin. He's tapped it over the boundary line by Shannon Neal. And a boundary throw-in. Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport. Some of your suggestions coming through on 0437 774 774 about the greatest utilities we've seen in the game. Marcus in South Melbourne has another one from Matthew Pavlich. Barry Stoneham, would his qualify as a utility? He stole my first selection of Cooter. That's from Greg in Geelong. Long kick inside 50 for the Cats. Up went the efforts of Dawson. Can't take the mark. Now a free kick for high contact going the Kangaroos' way. And it will go the way of Toby Pink.
That's silly.
As Tyson Stengel bizarrely threw the ball back to him.
Well, he's a little bit frustrated, Stengel. He's had the 9 possessions and the 2 behind, so he hasn't really joined in the goal-kicking party as yet. But that was just silly. Like, just get the ball back.
Wayne Carey and David Neitz, a few more names coming through on the SMS. But they're not really midfielders. They're not
not utility.
Carey to the ground.
Carey briefly went to centre half back for a game or two, but just owned centre half forward.
So Bailey hand passes it across to Hardiman, goes just inside 50 for the Cats, for the Roos rather, very shallow entry, and Connor O'Sullivan easily chops that off. Chips it across to Jack Henry, who moves it across to the left back pocket towards Dempsey. Still in defensive 50 until Dempsey heaves it on the kick towards Myers, who was just at the back. Got tapped out of his hands. He'll get some support from Guthrie, who hand passes it to Bowes. Myers is still there if Bowes wants to use him, and he does. He'll take the footy at left half forward, Myers, and pop it inside 50. Who's lurking? He was going for Neil. It was the kick didn't have enough on it, and Neil just kind of put his hands up to say that probably was the case, and I could have got it as Finbar Maley intercepts the footy and spins around a full 360 and then decides just to chip it across to Toby Pink in the right back pocket for North Melbourne.
So Toby Pink sends the Kangaroos out of defence. Up towards half-back. Jack Darling flies in the pack. Guthrie was there in support in the end from Ollie Dempsey, and it's seen out of play and a boundary thrown at left half forward. So Geelong 13-14-92 to North Melbourne 3-5-23. Kangaroos have managed just 2 goals since quarter time. 1 goal since quarter time, while the Cats have managed to put on a lot in that period.
12 of the past 13 goals have gone the way of Geelong.
Thank you, Loz. Bailey Smith gets a disposal. Hand pass to Tom Atkins. Away to Dempsey. Inside 50 once more. Myers in the left forward pocket. Corralled by Stevens, and also Sheasel somehow found a way out. Kicks it forward to Dempsey. Not 15. Kicks across the face of goal. Humphreys to sub into the action. Sets himself and takes the mark in front of Jai Simpkin. It was a 2-on-1 with Stengel and Humphreys.
Yeah, but Josh Simpkin's the captain of the club. Needs to be better in a marking contest.
Much better.
Playing against a player in his 29th game.
Just come on the ground.
Yeah, under a high ball. You just punch that away.
Lawson Humphreys looking for Geelong's 14th goal of the match. Subbed into the game with a 69-point lead. Paddy Dangerfield told his night is done. And Humphreys picks up where they left off. Another goal for Geelong. Their third in this third quarter now, and the margin is 75 points. 14-14, 98 to North Melbourne 3-5-23.
And this is part of when we talk about Geelong managing players. Lawson Humphreys is definitely not your 23rd player. He's sub. He's in the best 22 clearly, but it's still a young player. They've said to him, if all goes to plan, we'll probably get
half a footy, mate.
Yeah, 40 to 50% game time into you, and it'll be you'll still play a game, you'll still get some run, but you'll get a little download. Yeah. And it's perfectly managed. And now he's come on, he'll be able to get some Ks, he gets a goal, feels good, move on to next one.
What Geelong are managing at the moment, so Cam Guthrie, Duncan and Kolajasny, there are only 3 injuries of significance.
So from the centre break, it's Holmes with the footy, hand pass to Manor, hand pass to Atkins, centre half forward. He flicks it across to Humphreys, just dabs the kick inside 50, nil mark. And Scratcher will have a shot from very close range, about a 45-degree angle.
Sharp out of the middle, real sharp. And you've spoken about a lot, Rama, when North Melbourne win the ball. And McKerch has been the example you've used, getting forward ball and taking it forward and using it forward. Geelong did that, didn't they? That forward handball just released everything. And you can still give to a runner coming from behind, but you've broken the game open with that forward play.
Shannon Neal on the approach, eases the kick directly through the middle of goal and straight into the Geelong cheer squad at the Coventry end of the ground. That is Shannon Neal's third for the evening, and Geelong's lead is pushed out to 81 points as the Cats crack the ton. 15-14, 104, and North Melbourne 3-5-23. 22 minutes played in the third term before the thoughts of our ABC Sport experts Adam Ramanauskas and Cameron Ling. Let's head down to Lex Pesce on the boundary.
When I look over to the North Melbourne bench, it's very, very flat at the moment. Jack Darling's there, Jacob Constancy and Colby McKercher, but there's just no vibe on the bench whatsoever.
No, look, it's only going to get worse. So clearly a long night, but again, it's the pressure. It's 5 inside 50s to 16 in this quarter. Obviously in Geelong's favour, but also North Melbourne's pressure is just not there.
14 of the last 15 goals of the match the way of the Cats. Blitzhouse tries to take it out of the middle. He's tackled by Teagle, and the umpire will ball it up. Jeremy Cameron with 7, chasing Jesse Hogan's 9 as the 2025 season high individual goal tally so far this season. Powell gets a hand pass out to Finn O'Sullivan for North Melbourne. Works it back to Parker. One direction, Simpkin. The other direction was O'Connor. It spills out the way of Atkins. Back to Mark O'Connor. Geelong from half back. Inside 50. Near the target. He reaches up and reels in the mark. Against Dawson. A tough one for Will Dawson. Off balance trying to get back, but Shannon Neal was always in the prize position. A chance to kick his fourth.
If you could write a script for how you wanted his season to go, coming off Tom Hawkins' retirement, you're stepping up to the responsibility. If he kicks this, it'll be goal number 31 for the season from 19 games to this point. Just getting more confident with his hands, his set shot goal kicking is really sound. Great step forward.
Shannon Neal out to the right from 35 metres out. Textbook approach as he puts through his fourth. Geelong are eyeing a big margin here. 87 points at the 24-minute mark of the third quarter. Their biggest ever win over the Kangaroos in the last 30 to 40 years is 112 points back in 2022. They certainly have that and Jeremy Cameron's ever-growing goal-kicking list in eyes sight. 16-14, 110 to the Roos, 3-5-23. Cameron Ling and Adam Ramanauskas with you on ABC Sport.
Just the right option by Mark O'Connor there. So win the ball back across half-back. Then they're away. There's just one little handball. Then it's inside forward 50. That's what you want as a forward. All you want is to get one-on-one looks as many times as you can in the game against your direct opponent.
Even just slightly to your advantage.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
So back in the middle, it'll be another clearance going the way of the Cats in Bailey Smith, who puts it out to right half forward towards Close, who's just pushed off it. Stevens wins it, hand passes it to Dersma, gets it back and shares it with Powell, who shoves it on his boot, looking for Constanti. Might have got a little shove in the back from Mark O'Connor. Umpire says no, all's fair, and O'Connor will take it and chip towards Humphreys.
Neil and Jeremy Cameron, 2v1 in the forward line.
Cameron's lurking in there by himself. Neil was at the front of the pack, brought it down. Simpkin took it, tried to hit low, just spilled out of his hands. Dawson will pick it up for North Melbourne. Just a clearing kick straight to Humphries, who's taken down in a tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Smiths takes it. Hand pass to Koning, who hand passes it to Close, to Holmes, who just keeps it in, who flicks it across to Smith, who just ricochets off his legs in the end. And it was above the knee. So a boundary throw-in just inside forward 50 for Geelong. 40 metres out from goal. Geelong have now kicked 14 of the past 15 goals to lead by 87 points. 25 and a half minutes played in the third term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Jeremy Cameron's career best is 9 goals as well. Here's Stengel, kicks towards the teeth of goal. In front, Charlie Comben takes the mark.
So they've finally sent Comben right back deep.
Get some help back in there as he goes short to Powell, and now in turn short by foot to Jai Simpkin, left half back. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Geelong by 87 points, 16-14, 110. So the Kangaroos 3-5-23. Kangaroos with just 1 goal since the opening quarter.
57 inside 50s to the Cats, 23 to North Melbourne. That's how big a domination it's been.
Simpkin to Teakle, and now up to Finbar Maley, who takes the mark centre wing on the broadcast side. Up towards half forward. Stewart in from one direction, Zerha the other. Good mark from Cam Zerha.
Loved what he's done.
He's competed hard despite the ball not being in there all that often. 2 goals for him tonight without Nick Larkey, without Tristan Sherry. Long ball towards half forward. Curtis slipped over. It's Finn O'Sullivan who tries to keep it alive. Dempsey had a little moment. Chance for Davies. Unier pinches it and pass straight up the mine shaft. It's Holmes who can't break clear, and the umpire will ball it up. Just 15 metres out from North Melbourne's goal.
Dempsey lost control of it, but he never gave up on it. It's that scrap. You've got to fight. Get it back.
Teakle taps it out, but it's straight to Holmes, who hand passes it away to O'Connor. Takes it. He's kind of stuck in the back pocket, can finally hand pass it across to Smith, who finds himself in some space to put a high ball to centre wing. Stanley was in a 2-on-1. The on-end Common did well to bring it down to ground, and then Close goes in after it. Soccers it along the ground towards Cameron, who has it. Does very well to keep it in, spiralling the footy just in towards Matter. And it's Sheasel in the end who fumbles the footy over the boundary line for a throw-in. They gain valuable distance here, the Cats, as they push forward towards the Coventry end of the stadium in the third term. They are leading by 87 points. An average winning margin of 45 points in the last 13 occasions against North Melbourne. And they're well over that at the moment as Teakle and Blitzarves are in a tangle. Blitzarves is brought to ground. Umpire says play on. Holmes chasing after the footy, picks it up. He's taking a tackle. And he's happy to take that tackle from Powell over the line for a boundary throw-in. Still in Geelong's forward attacking half of the ground. They're leading 16-14, 110 to North Melbourne at 3-5-23. The Roos haven't scored a goal since the very end of the second term.
Half-time at the Adelaide Oval. The Crows by 29 points over Port Adelaide. The Wallabies holding on to a 2-point lead over the British and Irish Lions at the MCG. Here's a chance for Bowes. Can't take the footy. Simpkin can. Tackle by Myers, holding the ball. Max Holmes led the tackle. A free kick going Geelong's way. And Holmes will feed it away to Bailey Smith. Possession number 10 coming up for him in this third quarter as he drives it inside 50. Dawson makes the spoil into the path of Tyson Stengel, who finally gets his moment in the right forward pocket. He curls it through for his first goal of the night. Complete class from Tyson Stengel. And the Cats have their 17th, 17-14, 116 to North Melbourne, 3-5-23. Geelong by 93 points. 29 minutes gone, third quarter. The thoughts of Cameron Ling and Adam Ramanaskas with you on ABC Sport.
That should put a smile on his face.
Yes.
Look, a very, very good goal. It was well done by Reece Stanley. He competed in that marking contest 3-on-1. Stengel stayed down. His direct opponent got sucked too close into that contest in Dersma, which I'm happy that he's gone and playing as a defender. He's still down back there, which is really good. But these are the lessons, Lee, that we're speaking about. Like, okay, come Monday, Tuesday, when you do your review of the coach, Zane, here's Tyson Stengel, here's where you go. If you're pushing him towards the boundary, he doesn't get that ball. So these are great learning aspects for these players.
Blitzarves to Atkins, who goes directly inside 50 here for the Cats. Jessica Cameron was at the back and he still takes the mark. Held his ground well against Toby Pink, and this will be a set shot coming up for Jeremy Cameron. He'll kick from just under 50 metres out. And
Unlucky for Toby Pink. There was a little bit in the back.
He did everything right, Toby Pink.
Took front position, got a little push in the back, and
Jeremy Cameron's just a good football player.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're taking on Jeremy Cameron on his night as well. So he's got 7 goals. As he comes in, skips over the pain of 50, lets rip towards goal. It is straight, it is true, and it is Jeremy Cameron's 8th for tonight. He's never finished on 8 goals before. He's got 9 a couple of times. He's finished on 7 multiple times. He's got 8 at the moment. And Geelong
let's get him to 10.
Yeah. What did you call Rummer at the very start of the game?
I called 8.
8.
I called 8 at the start of the game. So
he's there before three-quarter time.
Yeah, and he's left a couple out there as well, Jez.
Yes.
But, look, it's centre bounce work. Atkins here, wraps around the back. Cameron, I don't think it was a push.
On that replay, it's a bit of a lean in the back.
Yeah, he didn't extend the arms out, so it's great tap work there by Blitzarves. Atkins does his normal work. You don't notice him, and you look at the stat sheet. He's had 17. What's he had? 17 possessions, 5 clearances, 5 tackles.
Jeremy Cameron to 8 goals. Bailey Smith to 35 disposals. And all of a sudden, that's 15 of the last 17 inside 50s Geelong's way. So this has become one-way traffic. Free kick going the way of the Kangaroos in the middle of the ground. Luke Parker will take it. As he veers out to the right, sends North Melbourne inside 50. Zerha leads and presents. Finbar Maley made the spoil from behind. Ricochets into the right forward pocket. Running onto a Dempsey, is slipping over Costanti. It's a hand pass away to De Koning. Inboard to Bowes. Hand pass down low. Links up with Atkins to Myers. Back to Atkins. Hand pass to Manor. They've worked this up to the wing, Geelong, as he looks to cut back inboard to Jack Henry.
This side open.
Takes the mark at centre half back and looks up. The dock side is open. Switches it out to O'Shea Mullen, who didn't have to break stride. Works it through the middle of the ground. And Max Holmes, where's Jezza? He looks up inside 50. Kicks out wide of the pocket, close to the target. And he takes the mark, despite the efforts of Will Dawson, who is 200 centimetres.
Yep. Against a 183 centimetre Brad Close.
Brad Close just used his body superbly and protected the mark to mark hard against the boundary in the right forward pocket.
It was a strange spot to kick the ball from Holmes. They had better options, more direct at goal. But Close did not let him down.
Just a couple of the snappers to move out of the way. They have those little deck chairs in front of the electronic signage. And Brad Close looking to join the list of goal kickers. He's going the drop punt as he starts it right, tries to thread the needle and misses to the right-hand side. That's the 100-point margin for the Cats at the 33-minute mark of the third quarter. 18-15, 123 to North Melbourne, 3-5-23.
100 points in the margin. Geelong's advantage as the kick-in comes towards Dawson. Humphries did well to stop the mark being taken. Simpkin takes the footy. He's swung around in a tackle. Teakle will have a go for North Melbourne. He can't pick it up cleanly. In the end, it's Blitzarves that just soccers it away towards Cameron. Taken in a tackle by Pink.
Oh, hang on. They might have paid one here, though, Loz. Was it? Yeah, it is. Jeremy Cameron's ball.
Free kick to Jeremy Cameron against Pink. And he will have a shot after the siren to put through his ninth. Probably a 45-degree angle. And he'll kick from about 35 metres out. There might be a few North Melbourne fans, maybe who celebrate this as well. They might be hoping for Jezza to get 10 as well. You've got to barrack for something on a night like this. Jeremy Cameron, after the three-quarter time siren, will ease the ball towards goals. It is straight again. It is a beautiful kick from Jeremy Cameron, and he has got 9 goals, and we still have a quarter to play. North Melbourne, on the other hand, have just 3 goals for the entire team, 3-5-23. Geelong is 19-15, 129. And of those 19 goals, 9 belong to Jeremy Cameron, 4 belong to Shannon Neal, and then it's singles to Reece Stanley, Bailey Smith, Jack Bowes, Lawson Humphries, Tyson Stengel and Graham Myers. Well, for North Melbourne, Cam Zerha has 2 and Paul Curtis has a goal. So it's 106 points the margin as it stands at three-quarter time at Docklands.
It's the Jeremy Cameron show as he equals his career best against the West Coast Eagles in 2024. Cameron booted 3 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, and then 4 in the third quarter to move to 9. He's up to 67 for the season. That lead of 11 goals over Mitch Georgiades before tonight got underway has now all of a sudden become a 20-point margin in the race for the Coleman medal. Given that the Adelaide Crows lead by 29 points, the third quarter has just got underway there. Mitch Georgiades has just one behind next to his name. Adelaide 7-8-50 to Port Adelaide 3-3-21. In the match of the MCG between the Wallabies and the British and Irish Lions, it's the Wallabies still hanging on and lead 26 points to 24. If you want to join us on the SMS, 0437 774 774. It's a Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Do you have a favourite ABC show? Perhaps a favourite ABC personality? Show them some love by voting for them in the 2025 Logie Awards at tvweeklogies.com.au. This is the 2025 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport.
Stanley takes the mark and can chip it up the wing. Max Holmes has the mark. There's two players inside 50. Dangerfield and Cameron. Dangerfield takes the mark. He'll centre it to Jeremy Cameron, who will walk in and trickle through his sixth. McKercher trying to clear out towards Banch. Can't take the mark. Picked up by Jack Martin. Hand pass to Jezza. Here he is again for number 7. Jeremy Cameron jags it through once more. Kicks it forward to Dempsey, not 15. Kicks across the face of goal. Humphries to sub into the action, sets himself, and takes the mark in front of Giant Simpkin for Geelong's 14th goal of the match. Subbed in the game with a 69-point lead. Paddy Dangerfield told his night is done. And Humphries picks up where they left off. Another goal for Geelong. Geelong from half-back, inside 50, near the target. He reaches up and reels in the mark. And O'Neill out to the right from 35 metres out. Textbook approach as he puts through his fourth. Geelong are eyeing a big margin here.
Blitzards to Atkins, who goes directly inside 50 here for the Cats. Jessa Cameron was at the back and he still takes the mark. Skips over the paint of 50. Let's rip towards goal. It is straight. It is true. And it is Jeremy Cameron's 8th for tonight. Jeremy Cameron, after the three-quarter time siren, will ease the ball towards goals. It is straight again. It is a beautiful kick from Jeremy Cameron. And he has got 9 goals and we still have a quarter to play.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the AFL.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
There's a few clubs that haven't quite got the memo this round. Geelong is certainly not one of them. 19-15-129 to North Melbourne, 3-5-23. Matt Clinch and Lauren Borden calling the action. Lex Pesher down on the boundary. Adam Ramanaskas and Cameron Ling, your experts. The Cats' percentage at the start of the night, Ling and Rama, was 128. It's up to 135. Ooh, so 7 percentage points already in this race to see who will finish in 4th position, or maybe higher than that. The Cats at the moment opening up a bit of a gap now with their percentage 135. So that would be certainly challenging teams like Adelaide, who are 141, Collingwood, who are 133, and the chasing pack below them with the Bulldogs, the abnormality 132, despite being in 9th position. Talk us through what you've seen for 3 quarters, including the Jeremy Cameron show with an equal career-high 9 goals, Rama, much to your frustration throughout the night, although you did predict it. Yeah. You just one off and quarter still to play.
Well, yeah, you predicted it, but I didn't think they would come this easy. That's the issue that Blingy and I are both having with North Melbourne, just the ease of how he's getting those goals. They had 24 inside 50s that quarter, Geelong, for 8 goals, 5. So, 13 scoring attempts there. So their rate is high, really, really high. And that's, it's not up the field. I think it's just a complete structure breakdown, a complete method breakdown in defence for North Melbourne all over the field.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right, Rama. And the thing that sets off alarm bells is 11 first-round draft picks playing for North Melbourne tonight. Right. So there's talent out there. There's clearly players who are identified as being able to be seriously good players and potential to be really good players, but they are getting wiped off the ground right now. And as you said, it's right across the ground, probably except for Cam Zerha, who's fought it out well at half forward despite very limited opportunities. They're losing contests when they're in their forward line. They're getting smashed around the middle of the ground, and the defensive structure right across the ground is non-existent.
Lex Pesher on the boundary.
North Melbourne will make their subs, so it's Jacob Costanti who's out of the action and Robert Hansen Jr. who comes into it.
So Geelong's biggest winning margin over North Melbourne, 114 points back in 1981 on the line in this final term, and Jeremy Cameron looking for a career best 10 goals. Final term underway. Teakle wins down the tap to Davies Uniacke. Hand pass chopped off by Holmes. Hand pass to Stanley. Away to Tom Atkins. Kicks up to Manor at half forward. Tackled by Caleb Daniel. Somehow on his backside got a kick up towards half forward. Coleman comes charging out. Gathers for the Roos. Hand pass to Finn O'Sullivan. Links up with Powell, who chips it across half back. Works it out to Stevens, who marks it left half back. Stevens feeds the hand pass around the back to Hardiman, who kicks up the city wing. Paul Curtis caught behind. He did well, though, to compete against Jack Henry. Won the footy back. His hand pass chopped off by Connor O'Sullivan. The umpire will ball it up. Could you imagine what Alistair Clarkson might have said at three-quarter time? Is there any point saying anything?
No, and there's no point just yelling and screaming.
No.
You got to coach. Yeah, show them the way.
Finn O'Sullivan got it to McKercher. Hand pass to Sheasley. Kicks inside 50. Dawson's gone forward. The mark is taken by Sam de Koning of the Cats as they kick it out to Blitzavs.
Moves it across to Holmes, and he'll go with a long sweeping hand pass towards Manor at centre half forward. Who will he go to? Inside the forward 50. Jeremy Cameron will mark. Cameron's got it in the pocket. And he'll have a set shot for a career high.
Round the body.
He doesn't waste any time. Round the body, snaps towards goal. And there's 10 for Jesse Cameron. It's all eyes on him tonight. He's the show we want to see, the premier forward in the competition. And he has moved to a career high of 10 goals. And now he's happy maybe to take a spell on the boundary as he jogs off.
He is coming to the bench. This has to be, as he gets a rousing applause from the Geelong faithful.
There's another 4 or 5 out there for him.
You wonder whether Chris Scott said to him, righto, let's get you to 10 and then we might sit you for the second half of the final term. It's only 90 seconds gone.
Yeah, he's done it early.
He seemed reluctant to come from the field.
Well, I would.
The runner alongside
there's
him.
some more goals out there for him this quarter.
It was also Geelong's 20th. Jeremy Cameron's kicked half of them. It's 135 playing 23. That's 112 points the margin.
And a few of the people on the bench just shaking hands. Just saying, well done, mate. 10 big ones.
The Cats have booted 19 of the last 20 goals of the match. It has been a landslide. Stanley wins down the tap, looking for Bailey Smith. Can't gather. Powell's over the top of it. Holmes over the top of him. Umpire will ball it up. Lex Peshier on the boundary.
The Geelong fans were praising him as he came to the bench, all up standing.
Geelong by 112 points. Stanley wins down the tap against Teakle. Finn O'Sullivan gets a kick forward, though, only as far as O'Shea Mullen, who reels in the mark. In front of Cam Zurhaar. Just the defensive side of the centre circles in the middle of Docklands. Kicks for Bailey Smith. Sport away from him by Simpkin. Zurhaar can't take it. Guthrie's hand pass too sharp in the end for his teammates as Finn O'Sullivan tries to break clear. Myers lays the tackle. The umpire will ball it up. 35 disposals for Bailey Smith. Next highest is Max Holmes at 26.
Bailey Smith's probably thinking, what more could I do to get 3 votes?
Maybe kick 10 might be a starting point as Manor comes through. So who gets the... Well, I shouldn't ask who gets the votes, but who would be leave? You got someone who's kicked 10?
Got to be.
Or you got someone getting the ball down there?
No, got to be the...
It's got to be the forward?
Yeah.
The tap out comes. It's Daniel who takes it for North Melbourne. Just chips it out to Simpkin. He's got it along half back.
We just don't see 10 these days.
Very rare. And you're right, there's a whole quarter to play out if Cameron does come back on the field. As the kick comes to Loke, he's going to get tackled by Stengel. Inside defensive 50 for North. Hand pass across to McKercher. He chips inside to the middle of the ground. And it's Finn O'Sullivan with the ball. He'll share it with Powell. And Powell will just try and dab the kick inside 50 to Curtis on the lead. So mark inside forward 50 for North. A rare one, a rare inside 50, and a rare set shot as well.
And a rare, really good entry.
Yeah.
Really good quality. Lowered the vision, saw Curtis leading up and just went bang. Perfect, because the Geelong defenders were well set. They were looking for the higher ball. Nice kick.
So Paul Curtis will come in from directly in front of goals, 47 metres out. It's a good-looking kick, and he's put it through for North Melbourne. So his season tally moves to 29 goals. It's just off last year's tally of 30 goals, and The margin is cut back to 106 points. So perhaps Geelong are chasing that record high of 114 points that they defeated North Melbourne by in 1981. But it's 106 points at the moment. North 4-5-29, their first goal since the end of the second term. And Geelong 2015 135. 5 minutes played in the final term. Your ABC Sport experts, Adam Ramanauskas and Cameron Ling.
You asked what message that Alistair Clarkson would have relayed to his team at three-quarter time. Well, it'll be about winning the quarter. I think let's go and try win a quarter of football. They haven't been able to do it in the first three, but you want some sort of win on the night. Clearly, positional wins have been few and far between, or matchups and the like. But let's try win a quarter of football and go in with some positivity next week.
A goal apiece in this final term. Back in the middle of the ground. Luke Davies-Uniacke over the footy. Spills out the way of Bring Teakle. Kicks end over end up towards the forward 50. Awkward bouncing ball for Finbar Maley. That was some good acrobatic work by Mark O'Connor, who volleyed a ball into the middle of the ground despite being on his backside, and spills out the way of Sean Manor, who dinks the kick into the middle of the ground. It might sit for Myers. No, it won't. And he becomes the tackler as it bounces in to the chest of Riley Hardiman, and the umpire will ball it up just short of half forward for Geelong. Jeremy Cameron on the bench, having kicked 10 goals in the match. The most goals by an individual player in 2025, surpassing Jesse Hogan's 9. Free kick for holding the ball against Luke Parker, and Bailey Smith. No, it's not. It's Max Holmes who'll get the free kick. He loads up inside 50. Stanley the target. Comben outnumbered. He tries to claim the mark. Have he made the spoil? The umpire said, yep, why not? So he takes the mark up against the right behind post, deep in defence for the Kangaroos.
Comben swung back there after starting in the forward line. And he swings it out towards Hanson Jr., who's come on as the sub for North Melbourne. Jacob Constanti subbed off for North as he kicks down the line towards Bant. She'll mark. And just his second game, it's a tough one for him. As he hand passes it to Hanson Jr., he's kept running. His kick will just be chopped off easily by Chuck Henry, who goes for a run as he takes it. And will pop it up to Stengel at the top of the 50. In the end at the back, Neil, two hands, couldn't take the mark, goes in tackling Dersma, locks him into the turf. And it'll be a ball up top of the forward 50 for the Cats. Yes, for the Cats. They're leading by 106 points.
He's been marking everything tonight, Neil.
That's the easiest one.
Yeah.
He has 4 tonight, Shannon Neal, alongside Jeremy Cameron with 10. From the stoppage, spills out the way of Luke Parker, bangs it up the wing for North. Jack Henry takes the intercepting mark. Now a 50-metre penalty against Jack Darling, who was moving on the mark. Jack Henry is going to be within goal-scoring range. He's put at the 24 goals across his 157 games. Hasn't kicked one so far this season.
Jez is coming back on the ground, which is good.
Yes. For our entertainment.
Yes, for our entertainment.
Now in the rugby union at the MCG, the Lions scored a try to go ahead in the final minute. They won 29 points to 26 after the Wallabies led all night. We'll bring you some of the details in the post-game. Here's Jack Henry looking for his first goal of the season. It's out to the right-hand side from 45 metres out. And a minor score. Geelong by 107 points. 8 minutes gone. Final term on ABC Sport. Lex Pesher on the boundary.
In the interest of entertainment, there's a little Cats fan down here who's somehow just got his hands on Patrick Dangerfield's worn socks. And so no more boots, he's going to have the socks instead. They're about as long as he is anyway.
There you go. So that pays to sit behind the bench at Docklands and have him passed over to you.
Yeah, maybe you could score that burrito that Paddy's eating as well.
Has he got a burrito at the back of the bench?
Looking protein, milkshake looking protein thing as well. He's honestly comfortable there. I'm jealous of him right now.
So the kick comes inside 50. It's chopped off by Comben, who's just holding on to it. He doesn't know where to go. He shakes the kick to Logue. That is terrible. As Close picks it up, hand passes it to Stengel. Have another one, Geelong. Put another one on the board. Mark it down for the Cats. A turnover in the defensive 50 just to make the night worse for North Melbourne. And Geelong's lead is 113 points. 21-16, 142. North Melbourne just sitting at 4-5-29. 9 minutes played in this fourth quarter. It still feels like there's a long way to go in this game. Geelong ahead by 113 as Stengel kicks his second.
37 shots at goal to 9.
Yeah.
And that was just a gimme.
That was just a skill error.
Complete skill error.
Clanger, absolute clanger. So we're just getting pictures of Paddy Dangerfield. I think it's a kebab that he's got there.
Oh, jealous.
Yeah, he's quite comfortable.
Does he just put the order in? Do you think at half time?
Well, I don't know how he's going to run laps after the game with the kebab in his stomach. That's going to be tricky.
It's not a bad position for the captain to be. Put your feet up and watch the final term. Sub down in the third quarter. Back in the middle, Davies Uniacke tries to tap it out for North. Bowes with a hand pass forward to half forward. Caleb Daniel runs on to North Melbourne, kicks a high ball in the middle of the ground. Bowes got an awkward bounce, but Ollie Dempsey's there to gather. The young cat sends it out to the wing, kicks out to Myers, who marks it right half forward. He tries to draw Hanson Jr., the sub for the Kangaroos, and gets the hand pass away to De Koning. They're all wanting to push forward now. His chip kick looking inside the forward pocket for Tom Atkins is chopped off, and Colby McKercher takes the mark for the Kangaroos. North by 113 points. 11 minutes gone. Final term on ABC Sport.
I wonder when they're reviewing the game, the coaches, when they get to the McKercher decision on Cameron versus having Comben play forward.
Yep.
How that one's going to be discussed during the week.
As the kick comes down and Tom Stewart comes in and chops it off for the Cats. He'll flare it out wide to Close, who's all by himself, 52 metres out from goal. And Brad Close will dab it into the forward 50, looking for Jeremy Cameron, who's got Comben trailing him, but he takes the mark.
And I think it'll be a lot more than that. Like we're so deep into the season now. We've mentioned their whole defensive structure tonight a number of times. It's just been a complete breakdown of it. So I'm not sure if it's not taught well enough. Now I know Clarko would teach it well enough, or they just simply haven't wanted to do it tonight.
Yeah, and early on, when Cameron kicked his first couple, just Logue not taking any responsibility once he got off McKercher, Logue not wanting to do it, perhaps. I'm not even sure. We've been scratching our heads.
The tough angle for Jeremy Cameron. He sneaks it through.
I think it hit the post.
Might be. I thought it
we'll
touched
go up
on the
to a
line.
score review. It was a good kick. It was either touched.
Yeah.
So just touching the line, touching the post in the end. But that means, so Jez has got 10. He kicked a couple out, 2 out of bounds on the full. 1 was touched on the line at one end. And this could be another behind touch.
Look at this angle. We see the ball deviate as it hits
touching the post.
Decision on scoreboard.
So that's 14 scoring shots Jeremy Cameron's had tonight with an output of 10 goals. Geelong 21-16, 143. That ticks over to the equal highest lead they've ever defeated North Melbourne by in their history, which is 114 points.
Caleb Daniel looks to bring the Kangaroos back into play. Kangaroos have managed just 2 goals since quarter time. This is in 2 minds, out to the right, back to the left. Tom Atkins comes running at him. Kicks to the back pocket where the mark is taken by Hardiman. Hand pass for the Roos to McKercher. Sends it up the wing. In the direction of Luke Parker, who takes the mark. Chips it forward. Powell for the Kangaroos between wing and half back for North, who trail by 114 points. 4.5 wins so far for Alistair Clarkson's team this season. They thought they were past performances like this. And in the middle of the ground where it's marked by Davies Uniacke. He veers out to the right. Drives a long kick inside 50. Maley the target. Worked underneath it. Connor O'Sullivan takes the mark.
Push.
Kick going Kangaroos' way for a push.
Gee.
Now Zerha is looking like he was not involved. It's got to be Maley, surely, if anyone. He doesn't look like a player who's about to receive the free kick, though. Cam Zerha is getting one here, unless he was dragged out of the marking contest, but not much in that.
Well, they're saying perhaps against Lawson Humphreys. He's the one arguing the case on the mark. We're going to need to see a replay to understand that one. But it is going to Cam Zerha, and it's Humphreys on the mark.
So out of North Melbourne's 4 goals, Zerha's kicked 2. Curtis has kicked 2. Zerha shooting for his 3rd from 35 metres out. Elementary as he comes in and just sends through their 5th goal of the match. Maybe Rama's onto something. 2 goals apiece so far in this final term as North try and find something to play for in the last 14 minutes. 21-17, 143 Geelong to North Melbourne 5-35.
Well, he's comfortably been their best player. He's definitely been their best forward tonight, Zerha. Yeah, maybe a little bit there with Humphrey. Held him, sort of got over the shoulder a little bit. Yeah, I think it's a free kick to Zerha.
Clever by Zerha though, Rama, because he was kind of held, lifted the arm and made sure that it got seen by the umpire. That's forward craft, isn't it? except if you're a defender.
Goal song 2 is that Proclaimer song. I'm on the way to misery, from misery to happiness, which just seems a bit cruel at this moment of the game. Toss back up in the middle. Finn O'Sullivan going in after it for North, can just push it away. Dawson will have a go. He's on the turf. He tried to push it towards O'Sullivan, but in the end it's Blitzarves that takes it back. Little easy hand pass across to Bailey Smith, who'll turn it over with his kick. In the end, picked off Comben in the end, so not a great entry inside 50 there. Charlie Comben just reading the play better now. He's in defence. His kick will go out wide, looking for Curtis against Stewart. Curtis has front position and holds onto the mark very close to the boundary line. Still defensive half of the ground for North. They're trailing by 108 points in this last term.
Curtis sends it up towards Jack Darling in front position. Holds the mark in front of Connor O'Sullivan. Using his body and experience there. Chips it in the middle of the ground. The mark is taken by Will Dawson. Thought about the hand pass to Caleb Daniel. Now pushes back behind his mark. And a kick laterally to Griffin Logan. Just took it despite the efforts of Tyson Stengel. Straight down the middle. Finds Finn O'Sullivan. Directly in front, 45 metres out from goal.
Well, they took the ball off the line twice. So rather than kicking it straight down the line.
He decides to go into the pocket. It might still work. Dylan Stevens kicks to the top of the goal square. And Jack Darling hugs it to his chest. He's only about 10 metres out, but he'll be on a 45-degree angle. Looking for his first goal of the night.
Well, they made hard work of that kick.
Certainly did. But hey, when you kick 5 goals to the match, happily take any you can. And can they get the margin back to 102 points? Get it under 100. Jack Darling starts his approach. Coming in for his 18th goal of the season. He pokes it over the goal umpire's hat and through for a goal for the Kangas. Who have now booted 3 of the last 4 goals of the match. The margin is 102 points, 21-17, 143. So North Melbourne 6-5-41. On the SMS, Lee, one for you, Michael from Wyndon, regular listener to us. It's so good to see 10 individual goal kickers. If I remember correctly, it's the first time a Geelong player's kicked 10 since.
It'd have to be up at senior, wouldn't it? Was there one? Hawkins never kicked 10. No.
Never kicked 10. Your gut is correct. Gary Ablett Senior, round 15, 1994.
94? I was going to go
Melbourne
95.
Against the D's.
It used to be a regular thing to wander down to Caninian Park and watch Gas Senior kick double figures. Oh, they were fun days.
25,445 at Docklands tonight. I've had a little chance to see something special from Jeremy Cameron tonight as he kicks 10 from the middle. It's Bailey Smith, hand pass across to Mark O'Connor, touched off the boot. It skews away to Parker of the Roos, hand pass to Sheasel, who hand passes backwards towards Hardiman, flares it out towards Simpkin. He's got it at right half back. Tough night for his club as he chips it to the AFL logo at centre wing, where Powell will mark. Tom Powell just holding on to the footy, unsure of where to go. He's got low defensively and still unsure. He just goes into the forward pocket. It's an inside 50 for North Melbourne. Zerha was at the front. It's punched away from him and it'll be over the boundary line for a throw-in. Now 40 metres around from goal for North. They have kicked the last 2 goals and 3 of the last 4, but they're trailing by 102 points in the last quarter. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Well, at the Adelaide Oval, it's the Crows by 37 points over Port Adelaide. British and Irish Lions came from behind to defeat the Wallabies. That's wins down the tap. Dragged down when he didn't have the footy was Luke Pauker, and he'll get a free kick out to the right, 50 metres out from goal.
That's where they've got to look to, mate. Unless he's got the distance, to maybe just change the angle, try and get a mark. Maybe 35, 40 out from goal. Just a little late check-down kick.
Former Sydney Premiership player, 32 years of age. It would take his absolute best. Parker is looking intent on having a ping. Veers out to the right, sets flight. It's out to the left and through for a minor score. 101 points is the Geelong lead at the 19-minute mark of the final term. Jeremy Cameron with a career best 10 goals.
Zach Guthrie spinning around the footy. In the defensive goal square for Geelong, looking to his right, then looking to his left. Lawson Humphries is putting himself into some space at half back. That's exactly the direction that Guthrie will go into as Blitzarves comes in to also contest in the pack. It falls down to Atkins. Hand passes it to Bowes, who takes it and just spears a kick inside laterally to Myers, who takes it, and they could run here as he pushes the kick towards O'Connor. Then Myers gets it back. He flares it out wide towards Humphries, who's got the footy at left half forward. He'll just turn and put it on his right boot, kick it into the goal square. It might dribble all the way. No, it won't. It'll get to the goal square, and that's where Cameron will find it and kick 11 from a centimetre out from the goal line. Cameron stayed on the ground, and he has now kicked 11 goals for Geelong tonight. He surpasses his career best of 10 to now push it out to 11 tonight. And he's just running away with the Coleman medal. 22-17, 149 Geelong, 6-6-42 North Melbourne. Rammer.
What is the Geelong record? Is that Gaz Senior 14, I reckon? Yeah.
Yep, I'm already onto that.
Yep, 14 goals, 7 against the Bombers.
Yeah, did he?
14 against Richmond in a game.
Yep. Yeah, so there's still time. There's still 7.5 minutes to go in this game. So there's a few more goals out there for Jez.
Normally when you cherry pick one like that off a teammate who's got a free kick in the goal square, you're in a bit of trouble. But when you've already kicked 10, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's more than okay. And he went up and gave the little, sorry, Shannon.
Sorry, mate. Shannon Neal wanted his 5, but, you know.
He's got to bide your time, Shannon. You'll be the main man soon.
6-6-6 warning against Geelong. Cats leading by 107 points. Jeremy Cameron now with a career best 11. Kicked 3 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, and now 2 in the final quarter. Came to the bench after his 10th goal, back in the middle. Bailey Smith trying to get after the footy. He does so and gets a disposal away to Mark O'Connor. Hand pass away to Atkins. Back to Bailey Smith. Hand pass chopped off by Powell of North Melbourne. To Hanson Young. Through traffic around Myers. Gets it to Davies Uniac, who tried to duck out of the Myers tackle. His second high. Myers with full intent was trying to reel him in. Makes the argument that Davies Uniac dropped his knees a little. Free kick going for the North Melbourne number 9 in a similar position to Luke Parker. He couldn't carry the journey, so you wouldn't have thought Davies Uniac can. He tries to chisel a kick looking for Darling. He chopped the arms of Tom Stewart, who claims it in the left back pocket. Geelong by 107 points. 22 minutes gone, final turn. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, Gary Ablett Jr., 14 goals, 7.
Gary Ablett Senior.
Sorry, Gary.
You're all right, Clinchy. I know Gaz Jr. was good.
Round 6, 1993 at the MCG.
Against the Bombers. Paul Salmon kicked 10 and the Bombers won.
Imagine being at that game. That would have been an incredible match to be at.
Don't say I don't hold on to a lot of things from my childhood.
Don't worry, I was a Richmond supporter.
Oh, he had a field day with Richmond.
And Jason Dunstall had a field day with Richmond as well. I was there.
A few people having a
I was there the day Dunstall kicked 17.
Oh, wow. Did you start barracking for him at some point? No?
No, the old man, he sort of, come on, let's go home.
So Sipka takes the footy, hand pass to Davies Uniac. He does shrug the tackle from Smith. Hand pass to Hanson Jr. Long hand pass across to Fido Sullivan, who's being tracked back by Guthrie. Takes the tackle in the end. Was looking for Davies Uniac with the hand pass. De Koning comes in, hand passes it across to Stewart, who's able to find Smith with his hand pass. He'll go for a 1-2 with Humphries. He does get it back from him in the end, and he'll kick right to Stengel, who marks at centre wing. What can he do now? Will Stengel go inside 50 looking for Jeremy Cameron? That's what he'll do. Cameron, can he juggle the mark? Not quite. Conlon comes in there and tries to steal it off him. Cameron will go back and try and get the footy. Manor has it. He went out of bounds. They're still calling play on. It looked like he went out of bounds. The umpire has called play on. So Logue had it, chipped towards Simpkin, who chips it towards Curtis, who's got it at just backwards of centre wing for North.
Inboard to the middle of the ground for Harry Sheasel, who can play on and try and work it up to Zerha, back with the flight. He and Darling collide. Sam De Koning in the pack as well, trying to knock it on as Maley gets it out to Bates, who bounces it end over end towards the goal mouth. It's slapped through in the end. Heading back, Tom Atkins, who denies him a goal. Zach Banch on his second game, looking for his first AFL goal. And he misses in the end. A rush through minor score. Geelong by 106 points.
And the Geelong chant going out around Docklands. Stewart takes it, kicks it back to Atkins in the goal square, moves it to Koning, to Bowes, across to Myers, who'll chip it now to Guthrie, who moves the footy by hands across to Bowes. They've switched it across to the City side wing as the kick goes out to Dempsey. Just a little dinky kick to the top of the 50 will find Stanley, and Stanley will dart the kick inside 50, the pocket again. He's looking for Cameron, and it goes past him, and Combin's there to take the mark. His kick, though, will go over the top of Simpkin, who'll have to chase away, and he gets in front of O'Connor to take the footy, hand pass it across to Curtis. Simpkin does the shepherding, so Curtis can just dab the kick away towards Sheasel.
Here comes inboard to Luke Parker. His chip kick up towards Darling misses him. He then bounces into Jack Henry. The Cats will emerge with it, though. Tom Atkins through the middle of the ground. Kicks looking for Holmes. Sport away from him. St. Dursma gathers. And pass across the middle of the ground to Teakle. Back to Caleb Daniel. Retreats back to half-back where Griffin Logue goes short to Harry Sheasel. Geelong 22-17, 149 to North Melbourne 6-7, 43. It's a 106-point margin. And Sheasel kicks up towards Paul Curtis. He's out-wrestled by Zach Guthrie. And Guthrie takes the mark. Works it up the wing to Shannon Neal. Where's Jezza? Sends it in the pocket, looking for him or Mark Blitzavs. Combin over the top. Makes the spoil and sees it out of play.
You just got to keep Combin as a defender.
Yeah. That's been a big blow of the night.
Like just trying to play him forward.
I know they were trying with no Larky. I get that, trying to find someone, but
not him.
No. Just to update too, Bailey Smith's had 43 disposals and kicked a goal, and he's not going to be best on.
It's a fair effort from Bailey Smith. Myers takes the footy, hand pass it across to Blitzard. Hand pass to Jezza. Have a shot, I agree. This one goes across the face of goals, and Combin's there again to clean up for North Melbourne, sitting in that right forward pocket. He takes the mark, he flares it across to McKerchup. He'll switch it across to the broadcast side of the ground to Toby Pink, who puts it on his boot. He goes down to a contest. It's Blitzarves at the back, or Stanley rather, who will get the free kick. And it'll be Stanley with it about centre wing for Geelong as they push forward. Maybe they can get it to Jeremy Cameron, who can try and put his 12th on the board.
That's a great kick.
Reece Stanley, as you heard from Adam Romanascus, into the middle of the ground for Connor O'Sullivan. Hand pass to Humphreys. Chips it into the pocket, and Max Holmes takes the mark.
Oh, set up by Reece Stanley.
Yeah.
Now again, it's just a complete breakdown of defence for the Kangaroos to allow. Stanley's got a free kick right in front of us, our commentary boxes, and then the whole corridor is open with two Geelong players just standing in there by themselves.
Max Holmes has had 27 disposals tonight, looking for a goal to finish it off. He's shot on goal from the right forward pocket. 40 out, misses to the left-hand side. 107 points as the Cats lead at the 27-minute mark of the final term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
It hasn't been a close game in this round. Now, the other game too, the Crows are up by 50 points at the moment. So, what did AFL? It was rivalry round, was it?
Yes.
Right.
Yep, derby round, showdown round.
Right, okay.
The big rivalry between Geelong and North Melbourne.
Yeah, not sure about that one.
Well, we can't even sell it, can you, when Geelong have won the last 13 and they're absolutely pumping North by 107 points at the moment. So it's thrown back in. Stengel grabs it and he's happy to just take the tackle, and we'll have a ball up on the outer side of the ground, slightly to the advantage of Geelong's forward half. A lot of the 25,000 here look to have cleared out. As it's been all one-way traffic throughout this match. Atkins gathers the footy, tries to get a foot to it, and just get a little dinky kick towards Holmes, who gets it towards Manor. He kicks it over the top. Stengel goes into mark, can't take it. Combin's again there to collect. Stengel tries to do the tackling. Combin shrugs it. Hand pass to Parker. Hand pass to Finn O'Sullivan, who's just running his way outside of 50s. He gone too long without kicking it. He just gets a kick away. And Sheasel will be paid the mark. Didn't go very far, but Sheasel claims the mark, and he flares it out towards Simpkin on the dockside wing. He just darts the park past to Zerha, who marks it right half forward for North.
Zerha wants to chip it to Curtis, who reaches up and takes the mark. Paul Curtis with 2 goals tonight. Cam Zerha with 3. And North Melbourne 6 against Geelong's 22. And Jeremy Cameron has booted 11. John from Melbourne says Jezza has kicked the record for Docklands. Mark Lacroix kicked 12 against the Bombers.
Yep.
Yes.
I reckon Milne kicked 10 here as well one night.
What was Lloydie's best?
No, he didn't kick 10 here.
The statistician tonight as Paul Curtis drifts this shot across the face of goal. It won't have the journey. And Finbar Maley in front. reaches up high and reels in the mark. A couple of Geelong defenders a bit frustrated. Ray Stanley was back there. Jack Henry as well. Neither could get a hand to it. And now Maley just has to work through the angle here in left forward pocket. One step, jags it through and puts through North Melbourne's fourth goal of this final term. So they lead the final term with 4 goals to 3. Geelong's lead is 101 points, 22-18, 150 to the Kangaroos 7-7-49. Adam Ramanauskas and Cameron Ling with you on ABC Sport.
That's where if you're the Geelong defender, so Finbar, take 30 seconds, but also we won't run at you. Take another 30 seconds and just get the siren to blow, and you can still have your goal right at the end. Don't make us go back and do another centre bounce.
Yeah, he tries hard, Finbar Maley. Like, he's a bit awkward with his kicking action and the like, but he flies for his marks, grabs a lot of them. There's something to work with there.
So we'll be back into the middle. What should be the final ball up of the match? Geelong leading by 101 points as Atkins takes it and then takes the tackle from Davies Uniacke in the centre of the field. So Geelong won't quite reach that record high of 114 points they had when they defeated North Melbourne in 1981. But they went very close as North Melbourne hold on to the footy. McKercher has it. He's running towards defensive 50 though. Hand passes it to Pink, who puts as much on it as he possibly can to kick it down to left half forward for North. It's taken by Henry. Hand pass to Humphreys. He'll just chip it down the line towards Manor. There might be one last chance to get it to Jezza. No. Time runs out. But it is Geelong with a crushing defeat of North Melbourne. The Cats bully the Kangaroos. They win by 101 points, and it is all led by their spearhead of Jeremy Cameron with a career-high 11 goals at Docklands tonight.
We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played, at home or far away. Our banners fly high from dawn to dark, down at Gardenia Park.
The game was just led by Geelong as they aim to secure a spot in the top 4. This goes a long way to their percentage, leading by 16 points at the end of the first quarter, 54 points at half-time, with a 53-point to 1/3 term and extended to 106 points at three-quarter time before North did win the last quarter. The final margin, 101 points. Jeremy Cameron kicking 11.
Remember our tradition, stand up and fight. It's always our ambition throughout the game to fight with all our might, because we're the mighty blue and white. And when the ball is bounced to the final bell, stand up and fight like hell.
Jeremy Cameron had 15 scoring shots tonight for his 11 goals. He kicked 3 in the first quarter, 2 in the second. Then he had 4 in the third quarter and another couple to finish off in the last quarter for a career high for him of 11 goals. It was a show that was put on here on maybe a rather dull night when it came to the scoreline here, but he lit it up as Geelong are winners 22-18, 150 to North Melbourne 7-7-49, which is their lowest score of the season for the Kangaroos. So the goal kickers tonight, well, the 11 to Jeremy Cameron, Shannon Neal, he pitched in with 4 as well for Geelong. Tyson Stengel kicked a couple. And then there were singles to Reece Stanley, Bailey Smith, Jack Bowes, Lawson Humphreys and Brian Myers. Well, for North Melbourne, it was a lot on the shoulders of Cam Zurhaar in that forward line. He kicked 3. Paul Curtis with a couple, and then Jack Darling and Finbar Maley with singles. But a very big win to Geelong, more than 100 points. Not quite the record, but a huge win nonetheless, Clinchy.
It certainly is significant in the context of the season. The Cats with a big percentage boost. They moved to 4th position for the moment with a percentage now of 134, surpassing their percentage of 128 before tonight. And Jeremy Cameron is now up to 69 goals for the season, and the first player to kick 11 goals since Jack Revolt against the Giants back in 2014, and Josh Kennedy of the West Coast Eagles did so against the Giants as well. Cameron Ling and Adam Ramanauskas, if you've just flicked on the radio and wondering what happened tonight, explain what we have seen. A one-sided affair, Lingy and Rammer.
What happened tonight was an absolute smashing. Just a complete destruction. both in the quality of how well Geelong played, but a destruction in North Melbourne and what they were trying to do. Defensively, their skills completely fell away. There were awful turnovers, and there was almost a feeling of helplessness for the Kangaroos players, it appeared to be. They were bombarded, the North defenders. They had 77 inside 50s, the Cats, to only 36 the Kangaroos. And amazingly, Ramo, Geelong took 27 marks inside their forward 50.
Yeah.
That's a stat I've never heard of, ever.
No. And look, they kicked 15 goals in quarters 2 and 3, Geelong.
Yeah.
So, in quarters 1 and 4, they've kicked 4 goals in the first quarter and then 3 goals in the last quarter.
Yeah, so 17 goals to 1 Geelong's way, quarters 2 and 3.
That's ridiculous.
Uncompetitive.
Yeah. And that's, I think, where the disappointment will lie for Alistair Clarkson. I mentioned the method in their defence today was all at sea for the Kangaroos. They looked disorganised. The communication was poor. The amount of times Lingy and I looked up when Geelong won the ball back, and there was 2 or 3 Geelong forwards with no opponent within 20 metres of them. Now, when the margin is as far as it was, particularly through that second and third quarter, well, you go back to basics. And you go back to basics of one-on-one football. Where's your opponent? Beat your opponent, and that's how you stop the carnage on the scoreboard. So, they win the last quarter, which is great. So they go in with a positive there, but. It's like it's a wasted game for North Melbourne.
Yeah.
Like in terms of their development as a team and as a group of younger players. Well, I don't know what you find other than learning in terms of a method and how they went out and tried to execute that method. Now, the down to ground vision will be damning on some of those North Melbourne players today. Like Bailey Smith's had 43 possessions, 13 clearances, 23 contested, 18 ground ball. 18 ground ball gets.
Yeah, just that hunt.
Just hunt.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Like you flip it over the other page. McCurch's had 32 off half back. He's had 3 contested possessions. So what does he learn from today's game, Lingy?
And you can't for 1 second. I will not hear an argument saying, but McCurcher ended up doing this and McCurcher ended up doing that. He was playing as a defender.
Yeah.
And got destroyed.
Yeah,
absolutely destroyed.
Whose opposition had 40 scoring shots.
Yes, correct. And even if you want to be glass half full on the Kangaroos for recent part of the season, and you say, Swans have got a few players back, they pushed them a little bit. Melbourne, they at least hung with them for a little bit. Only the Dogs was a bit of a blowout, and so was Hawthorn. But they beat Carlton, and we had some mini steps forward. Well, this is one gigantic leap backwards.
Yep.
And you just can't have that.
You have an opportunity at the Docklands against a very good team. Very good team in Geelong. Very professional team. And it's a 101-point margin. And you're allowing 77 inside 50s.
77.
That's 77 that's unheard of now in modern football. It's just not the way the game's played now. It's played in a more efficient way from half back where where you slingshot off and you score really quickly and efficiently.
55 does the job.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good game. 55.
Yeah.
But 60's a domination.
Yeah. I look at the ground ball. The ground ball gets there. They're even for the game. But Bailey Smith's had 18 on his own. So that hunt that Lee's talking about around the contest, Sheasel's ended up with 27 there, but he's had 5 contested possessions in his 27. He's playing as a midfielder. Got a hunt.
Adam Ramanauskas, his assessment alongside Cameron Ling. 11 goals for Jeremy Cameron. He leads the Coleman by 21 now. Down to Lex Pesher in the Cats' rooms.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. Hey, we are Geelong. We're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played. Hey, at home or far away. Our banners flying high from dawn to dusk. In your park.
The Cats winners by 101 points, and in times like this, you use terms like business-like win. Well, it wasn't that. It was a ruthless display in parts of the game and a disappointing effort and outcome from the North Melbourne side of things. Paddy Dangerfield was subbed out in the third quarter. His 200th game in the hoops, but he was able to sit back and enjoy the Jeremy Cameron show like so many of us. The first Cat to kick 10-plus goals since Gary Ablett Sr. back such a long time ago. And Geelong now eyeing a spot in the top 4. The challenge is to try and stay there, and they have clashes against Port Adelaide down at Cardinia Park next week. The Bombers, Sydney and Richmond.
Well, they're going to start favourite in all 4 of those games. So then they should really win all 4 of those games. So top 4 is certainly, it's theirs to lose, I think would be the correct way to put it. So, but we have in the past, Lingy, and you would know this better than anybody, Geelong do have a tendency every now and then just to play one that's not real good, and they
back down to their opposition a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So look,
and you can't afford slip-ups in the front home.
Not now. No, not with how tight this top 8 race is, and Geelong want the double chance. If they play an interstate team, is that then final down in Geelong sort of thing? So there's a few.
They probably don't want the Giants down in Geelong.
No, that's true.
Yeah. But if it's a top 2 finish, top 4 finish, it'll be interesting to see how it does play out.
But the fact that there are interstate teams lurking there, the importance of making sure you get above them.
Yep.
And
you don't want to go interstate.
No, if it's Collingwood versus Geelong, you just know that game's at the MCG and you embrace that and you get on with it regardless of where you finish. But when you've got Brisbane and the Crows and the Suns and the Giants and Freo lurking around, for positioning-wise, they got to make sure they don't finish below them.
Now, we've got a moment of truth, Lauren, because we emailed Pat and said we hope to hear from Jeremy Cameron at some stage tomorrow if possible. We'll find out. Let's head down to the Geelong rooms with Lex Pesher.
Hello, guys. I have Max Holmes with me. Max, pretty good win. It must feel good, but it'd be rude of me not to start with the moment of the night. Jeremy Cameron, do you just marvel at what he can do? 11 goals?
Yeah, it was pretty unbelievable from him. I reckon he knows he's a bit of a sniff for 100, so he's having a red hot crack. So sneaking out the back a few times, but it was a great game. There's not many that can do that. So I'm not sure if he kicked 10 before, so it was good to watch.
I think it was actually 11, and no, he hasn't kicked 11 before. At the 3/4 time, it sounds like a cliche, but what does the coach say? Do you say give it to Jezza? He's now a real chance for the Coleman. He might have it in the bag. What's been said?
I mean, I think he's got the Coleman pretty locked up as it is, doesn't he? He could probably go donuts for the rest of the year, but nah, not really. It's probably a bit of we kind of know that he's going well, so get in his hands. I mean, I dipped forward for a bit and I felt like everyone was just finding Jez, even though I was open a bit, but I won't go forward again. But I mean, it was just 3/4 time was just all about continuing the work, and we probably didn't do that last quarter, to be honest, but yeah, it was a good day.
You say that with a big smile on your face. No shade at North Melbourne, but is it kind of fun playing in a game like that towards the end?
Nah, not really. I don't know. I think they're going to be a really good team moving forward. They've got some really good young players, so I think they've probably just got into the stage of the year where they're a bit tired. They've had some great games this year, so it was a bit unfortunate. I mean, I don't know what to say, but I hope they can sort it out.
Cameron Ling and Adam Ramanauskas, over to you.
Max, when you say continue the work, now I'm not talking about tonight's game, but I'm talking about continuing the work up until a final. So I know you've got 4 weeks to go, and they should be relatively straightforward games for you guys because you'll start favourite in all those 4 games. But what's the work that you need to continue to do to really go into a final series and have all the little kinks ironed out in your game?
We're really trying to focus on that right now. We played pretty dreadfully against Brisbane and against Giants. So they've been the 2 real proper tests in our back end of the year. So it was really disappointing to play how we played in those ones. So we had a real honest conversation amongst all the players last week before the Saints game about, look, we can keep going the way we are, and we'll make finals and we'll do nothing, and that's okay. But you're not really here to do that. So we're really just focusing on the little things. So tonight's one of those games that, I mean, at half time we could have just slowed down a bit, but we weren't about that today, so we tried to just put the pedal down and keep going.
The combination with you and Bailey Smith is for all to see, but a lot of people talk about your metres gain. Tonight you've had 20 clearances between you. Bailey's had 13 and you've had 7. Is that an area of the game that you two have gone to work on? Because we know you can run, obviously, but that work around the clearance tonight I thought was elite between you two.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think me and Bailey both know that we're good away from the contest, so it's definitely an area of improvement to work around the contest. It's a bloody lot of clearances for Baz. He's had a ripper of a night, so that's clearly a working in progress for both of us, and it was good to get a lot of clearances tonight, but we just got to keep doing it in the hard games. I don't think we had too many clearances in those couple of really top-end games.
43 disposals and 13 clearances by Bailey. A bit stiff, he's not going to end up with best on. Those sorts of stat lines. But, Maxie, well done tonight on the game. Just sort of as we look at that midfield, we know yourself and we know Bailey and certainly Tom Atkins just having outstanding seasons. Who are the other players who you're almost trying to get a little bit of time in there? Grind's jumping in there a little bit. Are you trying to add a few other little options potentially to use in September?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't really listen to much. I don't really know why Grind's been in the midfield the last 2 weeks. He's
stuck in there.
He's gone pretty well though. So I've been pretty happy for him. He's looked good in there. I don't know if that's to warm up for September or what it is. I mean, we've had a lot of boys go through the midfield this year, so it's good to get experience into them anyway.
I love that, Maxie. So and it takes every single different type of player to play this great game. You're a type of player who doesn't need too much info, almost doesn't want too much info about what's going on. Just let me know what I got to do and then get out there and play.
Yeah, I don't think about it too much. I don't get told too much. If I got too much in my head, I don't play too well. I mean, I love watching footy and knowing what's going on, but knowing what I'm going to do, I don't care for it. Just play on instinct.
Who's the total opposite to you? Who wants and needs to know everything?
Both Axe and Baz are pretty studious. Is that the right word?
Yes.
They love it, so we muck around that. I don't watch too many edits, but each to their own, I guess. So
you got to have the different preparation.
Well, I'm just interested in that. So you don't watch too many edits. You don't get too much information before the game. So is the instruction to you just go and play your natural game and how you want to play, or do you still have to somewhat fit into a structure within the team?
Well, I think they want me to watch the edits.
That's a good call.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, from a personal standpoint, I think they've worked this out by now that I play better if I play on instinct and I don't have to worry about lots of different things. I can get a bit lost if I've got too much going on in the head. So a bit of an overthinker. So I just keep it pretty low key and chill, and it's worked all right so far. So if I start going pretty average, I'll think about watching some edits.
I love that.
Max Holmes is with us on ABC Sport. Max, I don't really have serious questions either, but when you come to the bench and you see your captain is eating a burrito on the back row,
kebab. It was a kebab.
Sorry. What runs through your mind about the state of the game and how professional he is at most times, except when he's watching you guys run around?
It's refueling.
Yeah, it's so unprofessional. That's crazy. he told me when we were walking in just before that he considered driving home. He considered walking in and going, I've gotten a corky, so I've got to get out of here and, get home. I mean, it's a long drive to Moggs, so you can't blame him.
We're also just discussing in the box, he wasn't out there with Lawson Humphries running laps, was he? He doesn't have to do that?
Oh, was Lawson running laps?
Yes.
Cop that. It's brutal.
And
he's pretty old.
The final one for me is Chris Scott was a little frustrated with Finbar Maley taking the mark right at the very end. So you're leading by 100 points and the coach is whacking the water bottle away. So is he pretty intent on trying to maximise these last 4 games to get your percentage as high as you can and to start this build-up into September?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably somewhat to do with what I was talking about with the honest conversation last week, that it doesn't really matter who we're playing. That's a pretty... I don't want to badmouth anyone on the team. I don't even know who was there, but it's big lapse in judgment that we can't do every week. And so I mean, I like that he's getting angry about that. It's just driving the stands and whatnot. And we probably. I'm thinking he'd be frustrated because we didn't really put him away in the last quarter. I know we're up by 100 points, but it was a bit of a average call. He let them mark the ball and whatnot. So I think he was probably justified a little bit.
Good on you, Max. Congratulations on the win tonight. Good luck against Port Adelaide next week.
Thanks, guys.
Max Holmes joining us from inside Geelong's change rooms. They won by 101 points. An entertaining chat, 22-18, 150 to North Melbourne, 7-7-49.
So just to discuss that further, it highlights the maturity of the Geelong Footy Club and the group.
Couldn't agree with you more.
And Chris Scott's coaching, because you need to let players prepare to be ready to perform in their own way sometimes.
Yep.
little taps in the right direction, little bits of encouragement, sometimes a strong boundary, whatever it might be, but still allowing them to be themselves.
I think for Geelong to identify, and Max to identify himself, that he doesn't want too much information in his head to play the game of football. Now, he plays it very well, obviously. You know, it's for all of us to see. But that's some other clubs would be like, no, you need to know this, chapter and verse and what's going on. It's like, well, no, just let some guys go and play the game.
Yeah.
They got drafted because they got unbelievable talent. They know what to do. They more often do the right thing than the wrong thing. So you're going to take those percentages any day of the week. But let's not make him into something he's not.
And even in preparation too. So that's during the week preparation. He said he doesn't want too much in his head. He overthinks it if it is. And in the preparation immediately before a game, I remember a guy Zach Toohey, saying he couldn't believe the first time he was running late for a game in Geelong. Now, and so many of our experiences, if you're running late for a game, just this sick feeling of panic and like the coach is this is going to be awful, the coach is going to hate me, I'll be starting to, and you work yourself up into a lather. He rang through, and he tells this story, he rang through and he said, traffic's awful, coming up from Geelong, didn't time it right, and straight away, Chris Scott said, don't stress, whenever you get here, you get here. We'll have some of our fitness team ready to warm you up and put you through your warm-up, whatever time you get here. Even if that's 5 minutes into the first quarter, so be it.
Yep.
We will deal with it. We don't want you to stress about it. And he couldn't believe it. He just thought, what? Is this how it's done? So that idea that let's not fill players' heads with all this other stuff they don't need. Let's just have them ready to go out there and perform.
We generally you have to be at the ground 2 hours before the game. And when I first started, I lived the other side of town still with my parents, and there was a game here, and the same thing, traffic everywhere. I think I got here with 15 minutes to spare before the game.
Wow.
Just strapped the ankles and just off I went.
How did you play?
Okay. Yeah, no, I was fine.
And I'm interested because you guys were such a great team. What was Sheeds? What was
No, just it was just don't do anything silly, get here safely.
Yeah, right.
That was the message. So it wasn't, speed, go up the emergency lanes, do all that sort of stuff. It was just take your time, get here safely, and we'll go and play.
And we'll deal with it. Yeah.
But it's like, Liggy's right. I used to stress sometimes if I was going to be late to training, even.
Yeah.
But this is where Geelong is so different to other clubs.
And that's why people want to go there.
Well, you treat people like adults, they'll act like adults.
Yeah.
You treat people like kids, they'll act like kids. So, and Geelong do it better than any other club.
Can we flip this around then when you talk about how much is in players' heads when you go to North Melbourne and you've got these young kids and they've got this, this kind of backline formation. They're trying to work with Cameron and someone's trying to call. I don't know if it's Caleb Daniel, who's maybe the most experienced player down there, who's trying to sort it out. But how much could they have in their heads that they're trying to play maybe zones they're just not up to?
It's hard to give you an answer, Loz, based on tonight, because Rama and I'm speaking for you here, Rama, we are baffled by what went on tonight. Yeah. There is no answer to what happened. The fact that we could argue so first bounce, we were both shocked. Jeremy Cameron's at centre forward, McKercher's on him. Oh, okay, that's a quick little momentary. Let's shuffle the decks quickly, get the right matchup. It didn't happen, and in fact, to start the second quarter, McKercher's starting on him again. So it was clearly an instruction to have it set that way. And then they got so high, and the Geelong players were at the back. I don't know.
The last Geelong forward you give a long leash to is Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah.
And he had a long leash for a lot of tonight.
Basically, he didn't have a leash.
Yeah, and it's just you're watching it going, well, you've all got to start inside the forward 50 or whatever you want to call it. Just shuffle your matchup.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Colby, you're going to start deeper.
Yep.
And then once the ball bounces, you can run wherever you want, do whatever you want. But, because what it did is McKercher just ran straight and tried to get the footy. Then Jezza, who's a very, very smart player, comes just up slightly. So there's no one within 50 metres of him. Then Griffin Logue, he's starting to try, I've got to go and find him now, and there's confusion everywhere because Griffin Logue's left his man in the goal square. McKercher's up around the football. So
and the flow of the play goes forward. Jez drifts forward with it, and you kick 3 goals in the first quarter, and we're away.
And you sort of go, well, 77 inside 50s and 40 scoring. That's how the scoring shots happen. Because as soon as there's confusion within your defensive system, you only need 1 or 2 defenders, particularly if you're playing the grid like North Melbourne like to play. You only need 1 or 2 players not on position, and it's all over.
And can I add it on top of that is if you were in a game where there was outstanding pressure around the ball and the game was a genuine arm wrestle and you're conceding 42 inside 50s to your opposition, sure, try a little thing like that. And still would never do it off Jeremy Cameron, by the way, but you could try McKercher. Maybe you're going to roll him on to Brad Close in that situation. Say, McKercher, don't worry about it. You just play. We want you set up using the ball. That's cool. From 42 inside 50s for a game. Not 77. Not when it's coming down like that, and not when it's Jeremy Cameron. You just can't.
Cameron Lang, Adam Ramanauskas, Matt Clinch and Lauren Borden. Geelong winners by 101 points over North Melbourne, 22-18, 150 to the Kangaroos, 7-7-49. It's a good question because they've recruited Caleb Daniel, they've recruited Griffin Logue, they've recruited Aidan Corr, so players they've hoped who would be able to help their backline, and yet the pressure will be on Alistair Clarkson once more tonight. Adelaide lead Port Adelaide by 75 points in the showdown, 16-13, 109 to Port Adelaide 5-4-34. So it has bucketed down in the first half of this match. The showdown record may be on a possibility tonight, but a chance to bring you the man of the moment, Jeremy Cameron, off the back of his career best 11 goals. He caught up with Fox Footy after the game.
Jezza, not a bad day, let's be honest. 11, PB, pretty happy?
You know me, Moons, I hate sort of talking about myself. So, mate...
Me do it for you then, it was fantastic.
I always say I'm like a product, and forwards are, of what happens up the field. And I thought throughout the whole game, our pressure, the way we attacked it and the way we wanted to play tonight, which we've spoken about heavily during the week, we did. So it's always nice when we do that. And then, we're building as a side, and it's great when the ball's coming in.
Well, I spoke with Scotty before the game. I said, where are you at? And he said, probably over the last couple of weeks or month, probably below average. Is that fair enough?
We thought that as a playing group, and we have those discussions on a weekly basis, and that's sort of what we've been speaking about. We want to, we're building. You've got to play your best football sort of from now on, and that's what we're building towards. So I thought it was impressive, right from the back line. They held up strong, made it really hard for their forwards, got the ball back through the mids and then, inside 50. So that's how we want to play. We want to be hard to play on, and it was impressive.
You obviously knew 9 was your PB. Were you telling everyone just to push out a little bit just to make sure you got that 9 and 10?
They looked after me a bit, obviously. You can probably see that. But, I like mixing up my role, and I say it all the time. We've got a lot of guys. Even Blitz is playing down forward. I thought tonight he was probably disappointed with himself because he didn't execute the way he wanted to. But what he did to get the ball was fantastic. We have guys that play in so many different positions, and I like to change it up too.
Bailey Smith, another 43 tonight. Seemed pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty... you notice him, don't you, with the headband and the hair flying around the ground. He was great. Max is always there doing his stuff, but the guys I love are like the Axe, what he plays for and does for the side is super impressive. Lets those guys flourish, and he's in there doing all the hard grunt stuff, which is awesome. So we need that, and I thought it was a great team effort, like I mentioned.
All right, Jez, good luck, mate. Thanks very much.
Jeremy Cameron there with Cam Mooney, courtesy of Fox Footy. A career best 11 goals for him. And Sir Swamp Thing, if you're a fan on social media, does a lot of the statistical side of the things of the game. So Jeremy Cameron, the first Geelong player to kick 10 goals. Of course, Gary Ablett Senior did it 7 times, Lee.
Well, that's only in Jeremy Cameron's lifetime that he kicked. Gary Ablett Senior kicked 7, did double figures 7 times. Gary Ablett Senior's actually kicked it 10 times, I reckon. If that's what I'm reading, because I'm looking at his best tables here. Best goals. He kicked 14 3 times. He's kicked 12 twice, 11 twice, and 10 3 times, Gary Ablett Senior. So there you go, Clinchy. I've been doing my little bit of research as well. But I think Sir Swamp Thing was putting that and said Geelong players to have kicked 10 goals in Jeremy Cameron's lifetime since he was born. Gaz Senior must have done the other ones pre-Jeremy Cameron being born.
Yes. Cats winners by 101 points. The Crows heading towards a big win in the showdown, currently leading by 81 points, which I think would be a showdown record in terms of margins. We spoke a bit about the North Melbourne side of things. Lex Pesha has wandered across there. Lex, what's the vibe like in the rooms?
If I'm whispering, it's because it's very, very sombre down here is the only way I can describe it. A lot of players are slowly making their way to their families. They did have a meeting very quickly as soon as they came in, and I imagine there's a few more coming that will be quite stern, I can imagine. I mean, we heard Max Holmes from a completely different narrative, and it's literally the total opposite here. He was talking with a very big smile, and there's not many of those here at the moment.
Okay, Lex. So, friends and family in there for the moment. You'd imagine Alistair Clarkson has addressed them. If not, he certainly will be doing so before they leave the ground. And there's so many questions for the Kangaroos as they've had 4.5 wins so far this season. But the spotlight will burn sharply on Alistair Clarkson. They thought they were beyond these 100-point losses. And the third time this season, the Kangaroos have conceded a score of 150 or more. They've lost 14 consecutive games against the Cats, and their total of 36 inside 50s ranks as the third worst of any team this season, while they conceded 77, and that was obviously a record so far this season.
Yeah, and the fact... So Nick Larkey's a huge out. I get that. Sherry's certainly a huge out as a ruckman. But you've still got 11 first-round draft pick players running around out there. You've still got players with games under their belt. You know, the captain, Jai Simpkins, played 170 games now. Davies Uniacke's up to 126 games. Obviously, Luke Parker and Jack Darling are super experienced, both being 300-game players. But Cam Zerha's at 140. They were always going to be outclassed and be beaten by the Cats. But with that amount of experience, plus with that amount of talent from their first-round draft picks they've had access to, you just expect a more competitive performance.
Yeah. And we were talking about, a goal a quarter, a 4-goal margin before the game, and that certainly wasn't that. So, like I said before the game, I was hoping that North could get to around 8 wins this year. Like they're at 4.5 now with 4 rounds to go. Yeah, it's just, again, you sort of look at it and go, well, and this is what Alistair Clarkson and his coaching group were doing. Well, what has improved this year? Like if you look along the whole list, you go, well, what has improved? Has individual players improved? Has collective performance improved? Are we scoring more? Are we defending better? What have we actually improved from last season? That might be tough going.
Yeah, no, it's a fair question. That's a fair question because if you look across the board, you think, okay, who has made that jump?
Yeah.
Or what area of the game has made that jump? I mean, Sherry certainly.
Yep. I think that's a tick. Definitely tick. Yep.
But then you really start, and you could say players at different times.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Paul Curtis. I think he's a ripper. Cam Zerha also certainly tried hard tonight. But how often?
Yeah.
Now, has Davies Uniacke made the really big, genuine leap like you expect him to, and hoping he does, and paying him the money to do as well? So they're all fair questions.
And the other part, if I'm a North Melbourne supporter and someone asks me, what type of team in North Melbourne? Are they a defensive team? Are they an offensive team? Are they a contested football team? Are they a transition team? What? I don't know the answer.
Do they play controlled footy or do they play chaos footy?
Yeah. I don't have the answer.
They're going to be the type of questions we'll hear from Alistair Clarkson in the post-match press conference, and we'll bring you to you tomorrow on AFL Sunday with Cameron Ling from midday. Geelong winners by 101 points. Ken Hinkley in his final showdown, trailing at this stage as Adelaide.
There's a 100-point margin on that.
Yeah, 19-13, 127 to Port Adelaide 5-4-34.
Well, just kicked another one. It's 99 points now.
And it is now a 99-point margin the Crows lead by, so not exactly the way in which Kenny would be wanting to finish as Ben Keys puts through his third goal.
I know we've been discussing some big highlights and great things like that. We mentioned Gary Ablett Sr. I just looked up one of his games where he kicked 14.
Mm-hmm.
He also had 30 disposals in that game.
If you don't mind.
30 touches and 14.
Yeah, well, not quite as good as Lee Matthews when he had 42 and kicked 11 or something like that.
Different era. Still to come, the 3-2-1 from the ABC Footballer of the Year. But there was 90,307 fans at the MCG, the biggest test crowd ever for a British and Irish Lions match, as they took on the Wallabies. The Wallabies led for large parts of the night. It came down to a thrilling finish. Here's Quentin Hull calling the thrilling stages at the MCG.
Almost inside the final minute, Byrne into the line, he's tackled. Lions trailing by 2. They've got the ball mid-park. Russell slips over, gets up, gets tackled, pops it up to Ryan. Ryan is stopped under the black dot by Gleeson 5 metres out. Gibson Park gives it to the left. Numbers for the Lions, and the series sealing try is scored on the left edge. Hugo Keenan of Ireland has won the test, has won the series in the last minute at the G for the British and Irish Lions.
Quentin Hull there with the dying stages on the ABC Listen app for our listeners around the country. And 29-26, the full-time score. Hugo Keane scoring in the dying seconds to deny the much improved Wallabies, despite a TMO check for a foul in the build-up. So much improved for Joe Schmidt's side, but on the wrong side of it, and it all sets it up beautifully as they head to Sydney next.
It's going to be a good night out tonight.
Oh, yeah. I ran into a couple of the supporters last night, actually. So
They've anticipated 180,000 pub visits from the visiting British and Irish Lions, all in their red. So that's a lot of visits from about 40,000 touring fans.
Only out every 12 years, so a much improved performance from the Wallabies, and they'll be celebrating the British and Irish Lions fans. Geelong winners by 101 points. Adelaide, their biggest ever showdown win. In the end, it proved just under the 100-point margin as they prevailed by 98 points, 2013, 133 to Port Adelaide, 5-5-35. So 3 goals to Ben Keys, 3 goals to Riley Thilthorpe, and 3 goals to Tex Walker. And Ken Hinkley's final showdown as Jake Saligo finished with 35 disposals. So, I mean, it's been a rather one-sided Saturday when you think about some of the results. The Gold Coast Suns defeating Brisbane by 66 points, Western Derby 61, the Dockers prevailing by 49 points over the West Coast Eagles. The Cats by 101 points here, and a 98-point win for the Adelaide Crows. So that gulf between the good sides and the bottom sides has felt like it's never been bigger than what we're seeing right now.
It's huge.
Yeah, it is.
It is huge. And it does keep raising the question as we add teams to the competition. Is there the talent depth?
There's the haves and the have-nots this year.
So what it means for tonight is Adelaide jump to the top of the AFL ladder, given Collingwood play Richmond tomorrow. They have a percentage of 146. Brisbane are third, despite losing to the Gold Coast Suns today. Geelong are fourth, with their percentage moving from 128 to 134. Hawthorn have jumped up to 5th. The Giants are 6th. Fremantle 7th. And the Gold Coast Suns are in 8th position with the Bulldogs in 9th. So the Suns are a game behind that chasing pack on 52
if you add that,
points.
if you add the win, because the Suns should beat Essendon,
Then
where would they be sitting now?
the Suns would move from 8th to... They've got a percentage which is just less than Hawthorn, so 6th.
6th, yeah.
But those sides from 4th, Geelong, all the way down to 7th, all locked on 52 points and percentage, which is why for Geelong it was so crucial tonight.
Yeah.
The 3-2-1 for the ABC Footballer of the Year.
I gave one to Tom Atkins. Just grunt work. Just grunt work. He goes unnoticed. He's unassuming. But he's had 25 possessions, 11 contested, 8 inside 50s, 8 tackles, 11 score involvement. So, I know Max Holmes and Bailey Smith get a lot of the attention, but Tom Atkins goes right under the radar. Very good player. 2 to Bailey Smith. Yeah, it would be 3 on any other night. 43 disposals, 13 clearances, 23 contested, 18 ground ball gets, 8 inside 50s, a goal.
That's a monster.
It's a monster game, but yeah, the 3 was quite clearly Jeremy Cameron tonight for his 11 goals. He's had 22 possessions himself, 14 score involvements included in that, 9 marks and 11 goals won, and he put 2 out in the full and 1 didn't make the distance.
Yeah. Help. 3 to Jeremy Cameron, 2 to Bailey Smith and 1 to Tom Atkins in the ABC Football of the Year from Adam Ramanauskas. So tomorrow, Richmond and Collingwood from the MCG and St Kilda and Melbourne. The 2 games overlap, so if the game you're looking for is not on your radio, the ABC Listen app has you covered. Lingy down the highway, and I'll chat to you tomorrow from midday.
Yes, we will be on. Plenty to talk about, Clinchy. Big finish to the season coming up.
I wonder what your highlight will be, Lingy. I just couldn't possibly think what it might
Oh, no, I'm going to have to behave myself. I'm going to have to be neutral, be a professional. I reckon there's a performance up in Queensland that might get the nod.
Fair.
And hopefully Jeremy Cameron will join us. Otherwise, Lingy might have to put in a few calls to his former club and find out what's going on. Thank you, Rama.
No worries. A couple of Saturday nights in a row.
Yes, good to have you back on a Saturday night. Thanks to Lex down on the boundary, to Stu Hollywood Baker at the back of the box, to Andrea back at base, and so much of our sport is available on the ABC Listen app. Our AFL, of course, just look for the AFL button. Our NRL on the ABC Sport button. The Wallabies and the British and Irish Lions tonight. We've got it all covered for you from the ABC via the ABC Listen app. If it's not on your radio, big winners today for the Gold Coast Suns over the Brisbane Lions. Fremantle over the West Coast Eagles. The Crows reign supreme in the showdown, their biggest ever showdown victory, and the Cats by 101 points over North Melbourne tonight in a night in which Jeremy Cameron booted 11 goals. Thanks so much for your company tonight. We look forward to you joining us tomorrow on ABC Sport.
The Classic 100 Piano Highlights album is out now. 4 CDs of Australia's favourite piano music. Get your copy at abc.net.au/classic/shop.
Your home of rugby. ABC Sport.